Okay, and we're back. Excellent. Here we are. I am back here with Wigend. Before I get drawn into things, let's start another drawing. Let's totally do that. So, there we go. You can use the same, where'd it go? Here it is. Okay. You can use the same link, sign up for that same drawing form, and we'll do another collaboratory drawing for another coupon worth a free month in the collaboratory. All right. Okay, so Wigend is talking here to two of the sons of Isildur, Meldoron and Ornaher. All right. As I recall, we were just about to start.
I was at the Morannon when the wounded began to arrive.
That's right. Chapter 12, Part 1. We're ready. Oh yeah, Wigend is not even in the least bit tempted by the glowing paper on the ground. No, yeah, probably fragments of poetry lying around in Mordor. Grifflet's going to be all over those when he gets to Mordor, but no, Wigend is immune to the appeal. Focused on the epic quest line. That's him. All right. I was at the Morannon when the wounded began to arrive, weary men and dwarves, bloody and battered, the tale of their defeat writ large upon mournful faces. I saw King Durin from afar, but even from such a distance I could see his face was ashen, and the fire of battle had gone out of him. I spoke with Huneric Hundredslayer, lord of the Teuda. Teuda. It's two syllables, definitely. Well, I mean 3, but 2 at the beginning. And my heart wept to hear his account of the battle on the field of Con Kaiku. We had so many victories, he said to me, but it was a deception. We were drawn forward by the promise of those successes, and only when we thought the end was near did Sauron's commanders reveal the true size of the Easterling horde. We fought valiantly, man and dwarf alike. We could not fight for long against so many. Any who survived the massacre fled, and I fled with them. Those who could not were captured, cut to pieces, or burned on altars to Sauron. A few score can move faster than a horde, and we outpaced the Runehoth, but still they came. They will be here before long. So said Huneric to me, and I must bring word to my father. Tell my brothers I will see them after I deliver my message. Okay, so we had the state of the story, which of course Meldoron is here helping me to remember. The state of the story here, for those of you who didn't see the previous session, is that we have the armies of the Last Alliance, well, the Great Alliance, as they call it, pretty well entrenched here in Mordor, besieging Barad-dûr. And they're very confident, and things have been really quiet, such that they're wondering if basically if Sauron has any more fight left in him, essentially. There was an army coming from the east, the Runehoth, and they dispatched a part of their army to go meet them. And they were speaking with very great self-assurance of their ability to, the certainty with which they would defeat that army. And at the very end of chapter 11, we discovered that they had suffered a crushing defeat and that the enemy was coming up upon them here in Mordor, and that was part of the plan all along. So now we will see where they're going to take this story. This is such a fun example, by the way, of a fill-in-the-blanks adaptation, right? We know the basic overall shape of the Battle of Dagorlad, right? Of the Battle of the Last Alliance. Except we don't, actually. It's referred to there are many places in which this is referred to, in which you could be excused, in Tolkien's work, I mean, in which you could be excused for thinking it was a one-day affair. Right, the armies of the elves and the Númenóreans came together and they fought against Sauron, and then Sauron was defeated and the ring was taken. the end of the Second Age, right? Even if you think about it, the way that that's presented in the Peter Jackson films creates a similar kind of effect. The sense that it was just that one big battle, right? But of course, then in other places in the text, you read that the War of the Last Alliance went on for years. So you have the concept, right? The idea that the Last Alliance went on for years, but no kind of years worth of fight are ever described. A couple incidents, like the death of Meneldu. Sorry, not Meneldu, Anarion. The death of Anarion is one which hasn't happened yet, obviously, because we just met him last time. So it's this blank space, right, where we're told what the parameters are, but we're not given any of the details to fill that in. And this is exactly the kind of creative engagement that I was just talking about, the kind of project, the kind of adaptation project that I think is really fun, where now as a storyteller, you get to fill in that story which Tolkien never told. He just hinted at it, right? All right. So now let's see how we carry on with this this disastrous turn in the fortunes of the war that is just now breaking over the armies of the Great Alliance here.
Sauron has bested us.
This endless waiting did not signify a beaten enemy at all. He waited for the Chazab Boron to swell to such size as it could not be opposed, and now we will be crushed between the Runehoth and the Dark Tower. We cannot despair. We must not. Already I see men casting down their weapons. We must stop them. Quickly, tell the men it is not over. Tell them we must still fight. Oh man, I've got to go persuade people not to give up. Word of the approaching horde began to spread throughout the camps of the Alliance. Oh yeah, because remember the frame of this is that we're hearing this story from the ghost of Isildur. Yes, that was the big reveal. Was that chapter 10? At the end of chapter 10, it was revealed that there was this unquiet spirit there in the Vales of Anduin. And so they took the pretty risky adaptation step to speculate, to create this imagined version of the story in which Isildur himself ends up as an oathbreaker, essentially, as an unquiet spirit, and we're trying to find out why. So anyway, here's this entire story that we're in here is inspiring. One of my favorite things about Lotro is the present participles. But men were now without hope. They cast aside their weapons and despaired. Again, that's so those white lines in the middle there are Isildur talking. Okay, those guys have the wrong color rings over their head. They are here to tantalize me with side quests, which Wigend is not going to invest in. Oh, wait. Collect abandoned weapons. So I was supposed to encourage 8 people, and I went 0 for 1, and that was it? Okay. I'm going to pick up their abandoned weapons. Okay. The new recruit? What's this? The Great Alliance is still in need of recruits. Nah, this is... That's a side quest, yeah. I'm not tempted or anything. I just, wanted to see what it was there. Okay. Not doing it. Not doing it. Okay. All right. 3 out of 4. Where is he? Over there? Yeah, there you go. Another dude with a sword lying by his feet. If you're going to throw down your sword, wouldn't you, mostly walk away? No. Okay, that's just not the key I meant. All right, yeah, there we go. How can you go on? Well, I don't know. Let's see what the sons of Isildur, who are sort of in disguise, will say about this. The Chazab Boran will slay us all. Boran. Right? With the circumflex. Over the first O. Right? All right. What do you say, Ornaher?
I will see these weapons go to those who remain.
These soldiers with a heart to fight may still make use of them. But wait, friend. As I look upon these weapons, I am filled with newfound courage. These swords have seen battle, even during the long, slow years of our siege. Their tale is one of standing strong, though today their owners do not. But there are weapons in our alliance of whom the minstrels sing. Narsil, the blade of my grandfather Elendil, and Aiglos, the spear of Gilgalad. The tale of these weapons is long, and will be longer still. They will not be cast aside. Nay, they will be wielded to the last, and if their song is to end in battle with the Khazab Boron, is that not a glorious end? Go now, guardian, speak of Narsil and of Aiglos to the frightened men and elves who have forgotten the vows they made when they joined the Great Alliance. Will they join their own tales to those of proud Elendil and noble Gilgalad? Will they wield their weapons alongside Narsil, sharp and deadly, and alongside Aiglos, bright and cold? Tell them, my friend, this may be the end, but let it be an end that shall be worthy of song. Let us make such an end. Okay, sure. All right, I gotta remind people. All right, I gotta go remind folks. Hey, don't forget Aiglos and Narsil. Oh, so of course, people who don't know the quests, they're named weirdly. That is, they're not named the actual names of Isildur's kids because they're supposed to be in hiding, right? They're supposed to have fake names so that people don't know who they are. By the way, I think that this is a cunning contrivance, right? There's like an in-world reason and there's an out-of-world reason why they're not named Isildur's sons' names. The in-world reason is they're trying to keep a low profile, right? The out-of-world reason is that Isildur's sons are only named in Unfinished Tales, and Lothar doesn't have the rights to Unfinished Tales. Exactly. Fake names to avoid enemy detection and copyright issues. Yes, to avoid detection both by Easterlings and orcs and also lawyers. Oh, I'm inspiring again. Spoke inspiring words about Narsil and then just ran off. Is that a good sign? Oh man, there's so many quest rings. I can't handle ignoring all these quest rings. Okay. We're inspiring this guy too. Hey there, frightened elf. Have you met my friend the strange elf? Bet you have. Oh, right, I gotta find 3 of you, not 3 total. 3 of each. 6 total. Okay. This dude is, I think, either he is more frightened than the rest of you, or by inspiring him, I'm going to inspire the whole pack of you. Well, he ran away and left you behind, so let's assume that's a good reaction. Okay. There we go. Got 2 more frightened elves right over that very useful and practicable wall. Edith exactly was trying to do some AoE inspiration there. Yep, that's just exactly what was happening. Seems legit to me. Talk to Tarandil at Dingarth. Okay, hang on. I'm going back somewhere else now. So, I gotta go back to Dingarth. Where did the Staple Master go? don't remember. I thought I was... Nah, totally going the wrong way. Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay. Right. Got my orientation now. Because I am in... Oh, I am in Dingarth. I don't have to travel to Dingarth. I was thinking of what this place was. Autumnbell? Yeah. All right, never mind. Never mind. Tarandil. Which one of the sons of Elendil was Tarandil again? Is he the funny middle one? No. Hang on. Oh, no, Tarndil is not. Tarndil's the stepson. Yeah, well, not stepson, but the foster son. Yeah, right. Who is actually the son of one of the king's men. He, Tarandil, born in Numenor. Okay.
I have learned there is to be a council of the kings,
at which they will discuss what can be done about the Khaza Boran. My brothers will likely be permitted to attend, but I will not. You asked what I wanted for my birthday, and I told you I wanted nothing. But now I know what I want for my birthday present. I want this. I want to attend the council. Am I supposed to give that to you somehow?
Isildur's even-handedness.
Okay. Isildur generally treats me the same as he treats my foster brothers, but there are limits to his even-handedness. I fear this will be one such case, for there are still many who consider me no true son to the king. There are times I am reminded that he is not truly my own father, and I wish he would listen to my words, pay heed to the advice I give. But he does not. Do not misunderstand me. I consider Isildur my true father, for he raised me as his own, and I would have it no other way. There is a reason I count my years from the day I was fostered by the king, and not from the day of my birth. But there is a sadness about my early years, and you will understand if I do not wish to speak of it to you. Tarandil falls silent, pondering solutions. Yes, I think I have it. Perhaps we can prove we both deserve to attend this council, my friends. There are those in the Dark Lord's service hopeful of attaining glory, and they seek the honor of leading their own patrols. Mordorim hopefuls gather west of the entrance to Amanfuan, and hopeful orcs can be found in and around Moch Darga. Hopeful orcs? Tell me they are labeled hopeful orcs, right? Are the words hopeful orc floating above their heads? I'm going to be so happy if they are. Hopeful orcs can be found in and around Moch Darga. Look for Easterling hopefuls south of the road between Moch Darga and Bartost. Let us each find some of these hopeful leaders and seize their badges of rank. If we present these trophies, we may prove ourselves deserving of attendance at the council. That's not a great plan. Like, if he doesn't trust your council, he's going to trust you more if you bring him a bunch of trophies from dead orcs? Okay. Well, seems a little uncertain to me. But we'll go along with this, Tarandil. Sorry, accent there. All right. So, oh, goodness. All the way down right by Amanfuan, he said. Okay. So then let us go back to the Stable Master. And we'll get a ride.
A task for you, soldier.
Down to Autumnbell. Okay. Now from here, there's nothing I need to do in this camp. This is where I met Isildur, and Narian was here too, Elendil. Oh, the big guys. Literally. Okay. So we're going to take a right there. Let's See if I can do this on the war steed. Alright, we're going to take the road out of town. Uh-oh. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. When I lagged that badly, I knew it was all over. Whoa. What the heck? Hi, Mr. Borg. Where am I right now? I'm way out here? Okay. Alright, didn't see that. Yikes. That's okay. Look at that. Wigend is still over level for this region. Oh, that reminds me. How's he doing on... Okay. He's still got his XP thing burning. So that's good. Okay. I like these guys. Sulak. Oh, not those guys. Mordor, Plateau, Avanx. Ah. Okay. We are coming up on a camp here. Wonder whom we could find here. We're looking for... Wait, one badge... Oh, a badge from a Hopeful Orc patrol leader. Does that mean a leader, a patrol leader of Hopeful Orcs? Or a patrol leader who is hopeful himself? How hopeful are you, would you say, on a scale of 1 to 10? Defeat goblins? No. Oh, no, that's a different quest. Okay. Oh. I don't think this guy... I don't think I need this guy. How about those guys? No. Oh, look, a Hopeful Orc patrol leader! Yay! Okay, here we go. Oh man, that aggro's people from all over the place. Okay. Great. Did that... Okay, I got a badge. So that's one. Now I need... oh, right, this is that camp that I was going to enter and then decided not to because I have so much discretion. I remember now. I remember not coming in here. Okay, now I got to go over there. Yep. Straight across the countryside here. Edith, you're asking, is an Amazon's MMO back on the table? It's a totally different operation, Edith. I can tell you. I can tell you that for certain. I was consulting on the first one. So sad when it got canceled. It was going to be so much fun and not actually like a rival to Lotro at all. It's going to be a quite different thing. But sadly, I don't believe that will ever be made now. And the second thing is a totally, as I say, it's a totally different enterprise. and doesn't have any connection, I don't think, with the old one. Pretty sure I can. Boy, see, I just can't stealth myself like Grifflet can. Okay, fine. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm laughing because just yesterday I was doing one of my Grifflet streams, and Grifflet's, for those people who are familiar with the game will know what I'm talking about. He leveled out of his tracer. He's on his LI, so his sword basically is not quite useless, but he's, you know, all of a sudden chipping at people with a little letter opener, and so it's taking me forever to fight things. So my level 123 Guardian with his well amplified two-handed sword is a different situation. Okay, an Easterling hopeful. How hopeful would you say you are? No, you're a Beastmaster, which is not intrinsically hopeful. Now, I'm going to look for somebody a little more hopeful than you. I think you're insufficiently hopeful. No, you're another Beastmaster who may or may not, but probably not, be hopeful. There he is. That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, I lost the other guys. I thought they might follow me. Okay. And now I just need a Mordorim. Oh, the Mordorim, right? Those are like the cultists that were up there at Amonfuin. Okay. Uh-oh. I see a warning against spoilers. I didn't see. I'm not going to look up. I'm not going to scroll up in the... Oh, man. Those guys are annoying. All right. So let's come back. We got a ways back to go. All right, hang on. Now I can mount my horse. All right. Oh, look, another piece of paper I'm not going to pick up. All right, so the entire story of this chapter so far has been focused on trying to, on the one hand, control or moderate, perhaps is a more generous word to use, moderate the reactions of the members of the Great Alliance to the bad news, right? So we're here being invited to imagine the last alliance at an unexpected breaking point. And now we've got Tarendil, the foster son of Isildur, whom we've been kind of warned about, in the sense that he's descended. Well, I mean, it's interesting because it seemed that he was, I mean, he's descended from Kingsmen, from Black Numenorians, but wasn't the implication, am I misremembering basically, that the implication was essentially a little bit more direct than that? Like there might be something kind of dodgy about him? Okay. All right. Done. Now I can take that one out again. Yeah, okay. Edith says it was more about whether his father's bad blood ran in him. Right. So it's a moral inheritance kind of thing. Which is not unknown. All right, let's jump over there. All right. Okay, Tyrande, what do you think?
I am impressed.
You managed to acquire 3 badges. I only obtained 1. Will you allow us to combine our trove? 4 is better than 3 or 1, friend. And it is my birthday, after all. Let me know if you're ready, and we will see if we can attend the council. Dude, do I really want to force my way into this council?
I hope this works.
Well,
It
I mean,
must.
okay, actually I do.
I
Let's
have
see
shown
what the
our
captain said.
trophies to the guard, and he at least will allow us inside.
Okay, the guard will allow us inside? Okay, so he's not doing his job is what you're telling me? Are we here in Autumnville? Yes, we are. Okay. All right. Hey, Grateful Czar, welcome. Let us enter the tent, but do not walk with fear or nervousness. Stride, rather, as if we were invited, and indeed the council cannot begin until we are in attendance. That is always the advice of Veamikil, and to speak truth, I have yet to see it fail him. Okay. Keep your head high, friend. They will have no choice but to keep us in attendance. All right. We're just going to bluff our way in, huh? Are we going to flash them our bloody badges if they question us? Is that the plan? Did we miss anything? No, they are waiting for the others to arrive. Okay. Hanging out with the sons of Isildur. Okay. They do not look happy. There's Honoric. Here's Durin. Okay, so these are the survivors of the attack. The elf leads the bright company, I think. I do not know the other. Is that Glorfindel? Glorfindel and Lendelin, right. Gilgalad, I know. Who are the other 2 again? Círdan, and the other is Elrond. Okay. Oh, there's Elendil. There's Gilgalad. Leaders of the Great Alliance. Who's talking? Elendil. Okay. Hold, Elendil. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Tyrande Gilgalad totally noticed you. However, he stopped the dialogue, which gives me an opportunity to get a closer look at his outfit. Okay. Hello, Gilgalad. Look how young he looks. Gilgalad looks like he's like 18. I like it. I like it because, not because it fits my picture of what Gilgalad should look like, because it really kind of doesn't, but I like adaptation choices which draw attention to things which really should be important, but which your own mind often misses, right? Like, it's too easy for us to think of elves unconsciously in our own kind of human image. Like, assume they're going to think the way that humans do, look the way that humans do. So thinking of Gilgalad as this, noble elf king who's been ruling the elves for millennia, that might lead you to picture someone, venerable and, well, if not wrinkly, at least, of a dignified countenance. And it's a little, there's some, it's a little bit, it's unexpected. There's some dissonance in seeing him. Look, I mean, if they put that face on and told you this is a raw recruit, you'd believe it, right? Anyway, so I think that's cool. I like it. Looking at Narsil here. Interesting. what I'm interested by, of course, Aiglos means icicle. And they haven't really leaned into that in the design. Which they needn't. I mean, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just a little unexpected. There's nothing about the design. I'm looking at the spear head here specifically, but really nothing in the spear to connect it sort of decoratively or conceptually with ice. Okay, let's see. Here we have Círdan with his natty little chin beard that we saw before. Elrond looking like he's in his heavy eyeliner phase, which, you know, I've known that to happen. Here is Anarian. Glad you're wearing your helmet. That's a good choice. There's Isildur. Elendil looking frankly shorter than expected. I mean, come on now. Wigend is a strapping lad, but really? With his helmet on, he's only like half a head taller than me? Elendil was like almost 8 feet tall. Okay. Yeah, it is really interesting to see some of the changes that they made since the High Elf intro, which was that was never 7 years ago. Was it? Holy cow. Seems only yesterday. Oh, in game time. Right. Anyway, okay. All right, Gilgalad. What do you say? This pavilion seems more crowded already than it need be for such a council. Is it not better to limit those in attendance? I mean no disrespect to the sons of Isildur or their sire, but what is to be gained by their presence here, or that of a guardian? I know I'm kind of a rando here on this room. Can they and you not be told the decisions of this council once they are made? Ouch. Getting bounced by Gilgalad. My king, it is true that this tent is overcrowded. Oh, Lendelin is me. But we need to discuss what might be done to change our fortunes in this war. Any of us might provide the spark to inspire our future course. Glorfindel has always spoken highly of your wisdom, Lendelin. Yeah, I remember he was a close associate of Glorfindel. I relent in this. They will stay. Thanks, Gilgalad. Tarindil's party-crashing approach, totally the right one, apparently. Leave or stay, it makes no difference to me. Oh, that's Dorian, right. We have seen the size of that horde, and I cannot see how we might defeat it. Durin is right. That's Honoric, the 100-something or other. The arrival of the Storm of Wrath will be the end of us. Storm of Wrath is kind of a cool name for an army. If we are to win this war, we must defeat Sauron. Yes. And we must do it before the horde arrives. Oh, really? Our time grows short. We must break the Dark Tower. Interesting. Send to Galadriel for the third ring. Huh. Perhaps with all three. So Elendil wants to... No, only barely did I survive the two. Very cool. Yes, Gilgalad had 2 of them. With 3, even the mightiest of my people, long gone from this world, could only succumb. Succumb to what? Tell more. The fires of Sauron's thoughts burn hotter than dragon's flame, and he would overmaster me. But I'm confused. Why can you wield any of the rings? I would become his servant and slaughter you all. Right, well, no, that I can believe, but I thought they put aside their rings. Right, you cannot use the rings. Of course, because Sauron's still got the one, so bad idea. Lure him out then. Okay. Even the wariest hound will bite if the meat smells ripe enough. Okay, that's Hunrik. I'm like, that's Gilgalad speaking. Okay. Oh, and Arian's going to go. I have a bad feeling about this. I have weathered much because of Sauron's deeds. I will bring him challenge and see if he comes forth. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, Durin accuses Sauron of cowardice. He will wait behind his walls until the horde soaks the dust with our blood. Right. Yeah, no, and then he'll revel in your end and dance on your grave singing hallelujah. It's true. But, yeah, I mean, if you're in a hurry to get him out because you're trying to defeat him before his reinforcements show up, then logically he's going to want to wait for the reinforcements, right? I mean, that only stands to reason. Kind of have to agree with Durin there. Durin is right. Sauron will hide in his tower until the Runhoth horde arrives and destroys us. Yeah, that was the whole plan. Why would he dare come out when his victory is all but assured? He has only to wait for it. We have to think of something. Okay. So maybe I'm wrong, but it's sounding like that's really cool. So what we're seeing here is not just a vicissitude in the war, but we're seeing what would actually be a catastrophic loss if it were allowed to continue. So that the conflict with Sauron on the slopes of Barad-dûr is a stratagem in order to avoid or anticipate the arrival of the Runhoth. Okay. Don't go, Anarion. If we cannot lure him out, perhaps we can do harm from within. You will need to explain yourself, my friend. This horde that draws near, this storm of wrath. This is still Lendelin. No Easterling lord has the strength or the will to hold such a throng together. Not even the greatest kings of old could do so. What, lead a very large army of humans? But Sauron can, because he holds an oath stone. Right. The oath stones. My friend, says Glorfindel, stay thy rebuke. Uh-oh. Elf argument happening. I have broken the hold of Avandasar before. I can do it again. So the oath stones, like the stone of Erech, is one. Who says? Oh, Isildur. This is folly, you must see it. He would keep the stone close by in the highest chambers of Barad-dûr. Forgot that about the oath stones. How would you reach it? How would you even enter the tower? Says Isildur. There is a way. Who's that? Tuka! Right! The Hobbit girl. Hobbit 1. Hobbit burglar. How long have you been listening to our counsel? This war of yours has gone on for too long. My people grow bored. The hobbits in the last alliance are bored. Okay. Bored in time of war? Well, it has been a boring war for a while, right? Perhaps it is different for your kind, but my kind takes to wandering. Interesting. The hobbits are a wandering people, are they? In my wanderings, I found a hollow place in the rocks. A tunnel was there concealed. It bent southward to the tower. Walls once blocked the passage, but they have fallen into disrepair. Okay, tunnel. Disrepaired walls. I can show you the entrance. I will go no further, but I can take you there. Took it as I want to go. Okay, I just want to go in. If this tunnel leads to where you say, it may enable me to reach the Oath Stone. So you're going to steal, functionally, the Stone of Erech from Sauron? Your blade might sing, but a throng of orcs would feed the crows with you, says Glorfindel. All right. Even if somehow you survived, you could not reach the Vandasar without help. Am I right that the Stone of Erech is supposed to be one of them? I mean, it's interesting, right? I know, old friend, but I cannot ask this of you. Okay, I am right. You need not ask. Does anybody else, not follow what they're talking about here? The orcs will need a reason to come out. Don't take your helmet off, Anarian. A good reason. Don't volunteer, Anarian. This is our opportunity. Now is our chance for glory. I will fight alongside the Bright Company. All the sons of Elendo are volunteering. Okay. No, my sons, this mission is not for you. Leave the High Elves to their work. Aren't you going to send me, like the red shirt? The Bright Company will see it done. Okay. And yet, I would ask for one other. Pick me. This one, the guest of Isildur's foster son. Hooray! Truly, if you wish it to be so, Lendelin. What? How can this be? We cannot stay behind. Is this plan to the satisfaction of men? Okay, the men vote in favor of letting the elves do all the work. If my grandsons have any sense, they will still their tongues. Oh, look, Elendel's coming after you guys. This one, expendable guardian number 4. Exactly. Okay. Just me and Glorfindel storming the Dark Tower. You will fight alongside the Bright Company for this undertaking. If that is the wish of Glorfindel and his counselor Lendelin, it will be dangerous, but what matters of war are not, if they are men. My grandsons will forgive you for being so selected, and resent it not. If the Bright Company fails in this, the storm of wrath will come for us all, and they will then have ample opportunity to die in glorious battle. If that is a comfort to them, let it comfort them. I will coddle them not. Okay. Don't go, Anarian. Stay put. You can't believe it, huh? Sounds like Eowyn was born a couple thousand years too late. All right, Veilmikil, what do you think?
I cannot believe this.
That you get to go on the daring mission and I do not. You are just a guardian and I am the son of a king. So true. I'm sorry, I did not mean that, but you must see that it is unjust. My brothers and I are not afraid. All of us, save Tarandil, volunteered to accompany the Bright Company, and yet we must remain behind with him as if his cowardice was our own. Dude. Is Tarandil acting like a coward? That's harsh words right there. If we are going to die when the Khazad Boron arrives, I would much rather die fighting on the offensive within the Dark Tower than back on my heels on this blasted plain. If it is a jest, it is a poor one. I cannot believe my father would treat us so. It is not your fault, friend, it is his. I apologize for my words, but my blood is hot. My grandfather wishes to speak with you. Perhaps when you go to him, you will ask him to reverse my father's decision and allow my brothers and I to join with the Bright Company. Well, if it comes up, maybe. Okay. All right, Elendil. Why are you so short? You got a nice beard, though. Love that beard.
I see the weariness in you, though you seek to hide it.
I am pretty weary, I don't deny. Ugh. Been a long week. Oh, sorry, you're talking to the Guardian. You're so right. Let us speak about the task to come and why you were selected to join with the Bright Company on this mission, and my grandsons were not. Okay.
Our alliance is composed of the mightiest heroes of the age, and still we risk defeat.
And together we have achieved many victories, but here after 7 years of siege, our triumphs are mere memory. Sauron has outmaneuvered us. If we cannot overcome his dominion of the Khazad Boran, it will not matter how many great heroes stand with us. Our defeat will be certain, and it will be forever. If Lendelin is trustworthy, and as I am told he is, there are few only who can break the spells in wreathing the Oathstone. They must reach the chamber in which it lies, though it be kept within Barad-dûr itself. Their purpose must be hidden from Sauron, for if he learns what they seek to do, he will turn his every thought upon preventing it. If he sees a guardian among the most powerful high elves that walk in Middle-earth, he may hesitate. Well, he may hesitate thinking like, well, who's that idiot, right? If they brought that fool with them, then maybe they're, not up to anything. What purpose do you serve, he may ask in wonder, and in that briefest of delays, the mission of the Bright Company might be accomplished. So my job is to make Sauron look? It is a hard thing to ask, Guardian, but we must seek every advantage we can. It is likely you will not return. I am completely a red shirt. But there are still preparations to be made before the Bright Company departs. You should find the Hul Budlon matriarch Tuka, somewhere to the east of our encampments, for she intended to scout the entrance to the tunnel discovered by her people. All right. On the distraction? Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. I'm so close to leveling. But that reminds me. Oh, no, wait. That's not the one I wanted. That's the one I was looking for. Now the other one won't do any harm. Okay. Find Tuka. Whoa. Outside the entrance to the tunnel of Halroth? Oh. Behind the rabbit. Gotcha. All right. Quests continue to take me further and further to the east there. There's really no stable master that'll get me closer. I don't think I got that milestone. What are my milestones? Dingarth? Holtvis and Bjorninghus? Not helpful. Here. Okay. Echad and Ethel isn't really closer. Oh, there's a stable master up there. Do I have him? Let's see.
We fight for a better day.
It's this one. Yeah, I haven't been there yet. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It won't take me too long to grind anyway. I'm going to do another drawing. Let me not tempt the lag with my war steed again. Okay. So, last chance. Last chance here. Let me post it again, actually. Post it again. Okay. Fill out the form and we'll do another drawing for another collaboratory giveaway. I'll give you just a little bit more time. Okay, I want to talk about the Vandasar, these oath stones. So they're doing a really interesting thing here. Putting together, so there's several things that you can see. On the one hand, and Lotro is pretty good about this. I mean, this is a general adaptation thing. This is what adapters do, right? They take hints. I got a ways to go, but I'm going to stop at the stable master on the way through there. Whoa. Little cliff action here. Okay. So they take a few references, right? But really, what seems to me the essence of what they're trying to do here is they're trying to take unexplained, sort of disjointed references and make a coherent story from it. Because there are certainly elements of things that Tolkien pointed at, hinted at, but never really developed the full story for. The Stone of Erech is obviously one, right? I mean, there's got to be... I mean, I've joked about the Stone of Erech being Isildur's pet rock, right? And that's why he brought it with him from Numenor, because it's a kind of a strange thing to do, right? Why would he bring the Stone of Erech with him? In one sense, you could say that this whole storyline of these Vandasar is trying to answer that question, right? Why would he have brought it with him from Numenor? That does not appear to make any sense. So what do they have? What raw materials do they have in order to try to put together an explanation, a satisfying explanation to that question? Well, they then go to kind of putting together some of the details of what we see, whether it's direct or indirect, either something we're directly told about the Stone of Erech, or whether it's, whether it's an indirect thing. And you're just going to let that guy shoot me like that? Okay, he's run him off there. Hello, Mr. Stablemaster. I was looking for you.
For you, soldier.
Okay. So again, what do we get? What do we get from the Stone of Erech? The oath, right? We saw the story was that the Oathbreakers swore the oath on the Stone of Erech, and that's why Aragorn calls them to the Stone of Erech, and they have to come, right? He's invoking their oath that they took. So, okay, we've got the association with oaths. And so the Lotro folks, the Lotro developers, take that one step then, that one leap, which is it's a stone with virtues, right? There's power in it. It's a magic stone. Hang on. I've been here before, but Barad-dûr was not standing when I was here before. Okay. It's spiky. kind of hard to see. It's a little dark. Yeah, the Dark Tower's surprisingly dark. I know, JJ, I'm trying to imagine all the evil upholstery that must be in there, and probably the evil area rugs too. Don't you think they probably have evil area rugs? I bet they do. I bet they do. Are you saying it's less dark during the day? Craziness. Okay. We'll find Tuka. Okay. So, you know what this reminds me of, by the way? This whole Oathstone thing? It reminds me of the Elessar, of the Elfstone. In other words, like the process that Tolkien himself went through. Right? The process that led him years after the publication of The Lord of the Rings, as evidenced in the texts that we get in Unfinished Tales, that led Tolkien to conclude that the green gem upon his breast, upon Aragorn's breast, right, the green gem given to him by Galadriel, is in fact magical in some way, right? It's not just a symbol. It's not just pretty. It has virtue in it. And of course he connects it to the healing hands, to the healing itself, right? So the step that they're taking in saying, okay, this at least symbolically and historically important landmark, the Stone of Erech, is important not just because of its historical associations, but because it is it's an item of power, right? It has magic. Exactly. Well, okay, it's not 100% parallel, but it's pretty closely parallel to what Tolkien did with the Elessar. Okay, Tuka, oh, there's somebody else. You brought somebody else with you just to tempt me with a side quest, did you?
Over here, as quiet as you can.
This is the tunnel about which I spoke at the council. Some of my people followed it a goodly way, and it seemed to them that it did curve in the direction of the Dark Tower. We all agree that it must empty into the dungeons, and if the elves are as powerful as they say, they will be able to make it at least as far as the tower. Beyond that, well, Tuka shudders. There are a lot of eyes out here. We should thin out some of the foes nearer to Halroth, but not so many as to be suspicious. You'd better get to it. Defeat just the right number of enemies. Do I get a hint? No, I don't. I have to guess how many enemies is the right number of enemies. Okay. Not that I'm curious, but what's your quest, Tara?
I have scouted the Emindweir, and if we are to remain in secret,
No.
we must do something about the enemy forces nearby.
No, we mustn't. We really mustn't. Okay. So what you're saying is I have to... Oops. I hit the wrong button. I hit the run real fast button. It's okay. That's one of my favorite buttons. Okay. I forgot about charge. Are you an enemy? Do you count? One enemy. Is that's good? All right, it seems to be not good enough. Not too many, nor too few. Okay. Adding a wandering gloom here. Try not to use any of my... Whoops. What is that? Relentless Fury? Accessing your complete arsenal of skills for a short time? Wow, I completely forgot about that one. There we go. Oh, look at that. And I didn't have the leveling tree blocked by dialogue box. Yeah, a proper ding, right? That's like for how many hundreds of levels I have gained among all of my characters put together. That's maybe the 4th time that's ever happened. Okay, probably more than that, but not more than 10. Defeat just the right number. I'm still defeating just the right... Oh, hang on. I've got 1,000 automatic quests to decline. Okay, 4. 4. Not 1,000. Oh, yeah, skill trait points. I do. Let's see. What should we do? Warrior's Guile. Yeah, I don't really. Let's just start at the top since I don't really know of any difference. Okay, there we go. There we go. 3 was apparently not the right number either. That crawler is presumably not going to count. Okay. We continue in the indefinite quest to find, like, Goldilocks' body count. No. You have still slain a slightly insufficient quantity. This is just a strange quest. There will come a sufficient number, right? I mean, I'm not just utterly wasting my time. I see. They never told me the precise number, but in the end, Tuka must have been satisfied. So it's back to Isildur's commentary. So that number is left indefinite in order to reflect the fact that Isildur wasn't told how many enemies needed to be slain. Which, in turn, has the effect of reminding us of the shape of this narrative, right? To remind us that this whole set of quests, this whole story that we're in the middle of here, is told from a particular frame of reference, right? That's really rather, I mean, that was an annoying quest, but it's a rather clever way to do that. To remind us that this is not only a partial, but in a sense, potentially, a biased, in one sense or other, telling. Okay, hang on, Tuka. Let's do the drawing now. So the drawing is for a free month's essential subscription to the new Collaboratore. And here we go. I'm gonna There we go. I'm going to do my drawing. Okay, and the winner is Lynn Monroe. Congratulations. Excellent. Okay.
Well done. Not too many, nor too few.
Good. The passage of the Bright Company should be unremarked upon, which is better than we might have hoped. There is nothing else you need help me with at Halroth. You may as well return to Autumnmill and relay the news that the tunnel entrance is less well watched than it might have been. Okay. Yes, I do believe we can assume Tuka to be the predecessor to the surname Took. Yeah, at least it shows at least a sort of linguistic connection. It doesn't necessarily mean that she is herself the ancestress of the Tooks, though she could be, conceivably. Yeah. There you are, Lynn. Congratulations. So yes, you can use that. You could give it away. Whatever you like. All right, Vamakil.
I'm glad you have returned, for I wish to apologize.
Yeah, that I should... You mean when you said I should remember that I'm nobody and you're a king's son? All right, now I get it. I repented of them not long after you left, and I would have them unsaid. Alas, that is beyond my power. Still, I beg you will forgive me. The war must soon end, one way or another, and I would not have us part with such a cloud of ill feeling between us. My brothers and I plan to take a last meal together at Dingarth, for it seems clear the mission of the Right Company is the final hope of the Great Alliance, and we may not have another opportunity. I hope that you will join us, my friend. Let me know if you will. The idea, if I'm tracking with this properly, the idea that the final conflict between Elendil and Gil-galad and Isildur and Sauron is basically the result of a stratagem, is... rather than it being the culmination like Sauron brought to bay, which essentially is, it's not said that that's exactly how it happens, but that's, to me, always at least the impression that that we get. Okay. All right, let's see.
Thank you, my friend. Let us go together to Dingarth.
It is Tarandil's birthday today, and we are celebrating as we can. Oh, we get another... So we're going to have another meal. It's our second meal with the Sons of Isildur.
This may be the last meal we take all together, before the end of the war, or our lives.
This side quest is haunting me. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Get out of there. All right. So we're in another food and conversational instance. Kind of love the fact that almost all of the instances in these two chapters has been just storytelling, right? Rather than like go kill 15 dudes. It is strange to me that after, or like stand here while 3 different waves of like people come and attack you. It is strange to me that after so many years spent in siege, tomorrow the sun may dawn upon the Great Alliance for the last time. The council was most clear. If the Bright Company fails to break Sauron's control over the Oathstone, all hope of our victory is fled. Because it is through the Oathstone that he controls the Easterling army, right? Isn't that the connection that was established before? No, banish the thought. Banish it. We will think of something. Banishing. Progress bar. We must think of something. Thinking. Progress bar. Oh. Back to the campfire. All is well, my brothers. Apologies were made and accepted. Oh, right. Your apologies to me. It seems to me only one apology was needed, my brother, not two. At any rate, all is well now. What do you say, Tarandil? You going to drop a bomb here? I will not lie to you, friend. Your mission tomorrow will not be easy, for you go to the most dangerous of all places in this black land. I envy you not the chance. I am no fool. But in this one thing I am envious. Tomorrow you will be given the chance to do something, stand or fall, and you need not wait for fate to arrive. You will go to meet it. Not every man gets the opportunity for that. The elves of the Bright Company are renowned for their courage. If I had any advice to give you, it would be this. Stay near to Glorfindel. That's good advice. Some measure of inspiration will serve you in good stead, and I warrant he will provide any you might require. Any inspiration I might require? You might be right. Who can tell what we might say on the morrow? The glory of the Bright Company may be joined with yours, and men may speak in reverent tones of your own contribution. Victory might not be yours, but at the least none will speak of cowardice. Let's hope not. We cannot go with you, but none here are cowards. Not even your foster brother? Had we the opportunity, we too would fight alongside the Bright Company, as you will. Weren't you calling Tarandil a coward before? Cowards. Cowards! Oh, he thinks you're all cowards, so there you go. Is there something wrong? Is he just busting out with that for no reason? Maybe there's something wrong. There is cowardice enough on these shores to fill up a mountain. Shores? Ah, right. Again? Put them from your mind. Who are we talking about? Do not dwell on them. On whom? I cannot help it, no matter how much I try. Tarandil was at the victory feast held by the Orathoth, the men of the mountain. The mountain host. He thinks he should have known them for oathbreakers. Oh, sure. It has come up once or twice. So he perseverates about the Oathbreakers. They swore an oath of friendship and alliance with our father. Right. Okay. This is the story we know. But when the war began, he called for their aid and they refused. Right. He invoked their oath. He levied a curse upon them for their cowardice and their oath breaking. Yep. And it soured Tarandil against everybody in Middle-earth, right? Others came when we called and dared not refuse. I think even the men of the mountain served a purpose. What, ticking off Tarandil? Is that... Do they not serve as a useful example of our wrath? Of our wrath? You mean the curse? Valmakil, you speak the fool and shame yourself. Explain, Tarandil. Of course we would rather have had their spears. Right, you didn't want them to not fulfill their oath. It is my birthday today, the 7th since we came to Mordor. Man, it's a long birthday. I've done a lot of traveling on your birthday. I know what I want for my birthday. I already gave you a present. More than I could afford. If we do survive, if the Bright Company does complete its mission, and Sauron's hold over the Khazad Boron is broken, I wish to ask my foster father a boon. I do not seek treasure or reward or glory. I want only one thing. Tarandil clenches his hands into fists. I want Isildur to send me to Morthond. I want to find Rioch of the Mountain, in whatever hole he hides, and make him pay for his oath-breaking. I want to slay him myself. If we survive the days to come, I will take no rest until I have paid Rioch for his treachery. So this guy takes it really personal. Okay. I am sure our father will grant you this boon. Or to go hunt down the Oathbreakers and take vengeance on them? You've seen the anger that stirs in him when he turns to the men of the mountain. I have. His ire is unrelenting. It will not abate. That's not good. He will not set aside his curse, not for any reason. Oh, fascinating. So part of Isildur's problem was his... broken oaths and curses make for grim talk on a birthday, Tarindil. Okay, so remember, this is all Isildur's story, and Isildur himself, his shade has remained in Middle-earth around the Gladden Fields where he died, for some reason, right, as a result of something. And so his own... Isildur's, indirectly in this instance, of course, expressed, unwillingness to let go of the anger against the men of the mountain? Okay. I have seen brighter birthdays, but if we do survive, let us look back upon this one more fondly. Tarindil, I am certain Father will grant you the boon you seek. He did not rage for a week and a day at the betrayal. Did he not rage? Yeah, he totally did. Week and a day, minimum, week and a day, at the betrayal of the men of the mountains. If you desire the death of Riok, Father is certain to grant it. But let us speak of lighter matters. Among the Tuira recently come through Ram Rairdas. No, the Tuira recently come through Ram Rairdas. I saw a woman of such loveliness, she could melt even your own sturdy armor, Tarandil. The blade she carried was sharp, even deadlier than your own, and with words of love you might win her heart. Why, she might join her weapon to yours, and let Riok pay double for his treachery. So Veamikil is trying to hook Tarindil up on a blind date now? The storyline of this instance is not proceeding in a straight line. Let us sit and speak of happier things. Okay, I gotta sit. Okay. How beautiful was this Teuda woman? Teuda, you think? I was a goodly distance away, if I tell you true. But you just theorized that she looked really beautiful? I cannot describe her as would the poets, but I am fairly certain she was fair. Okay. There's some irony there. Is this wine already gone? Oh man, you guys are getting liquored up this night. Pass me some of the bread and cheese. My appetite has sharpened. Okay. That is nothing new. Okay, so we're bantering. And to think you were once my favorite brother. Yes, yes. Keep waiting to go back to... Oh, no, that's it. Okay. Oh, all right. Back with Gandalf, Elrond, and an older, wiser Glorfindel. Hang on. Do you think that Elrond... I think he has kind of toned down the eyeliner over the years. But I'm now beginning to be seriously concerned that there's something wrong with his neck, as he's always turning to the right. I mean, he's had his head turned to the right for a long time.
The Bright Company prepared to depart for the secret way of Hallhoth.
The sun dawned sickly, so we're continuing the story. The sun dawned sickly on the day of the mission of the Bright Company was to take place. They gathered at Echad and Ethel and prepared to depart for the secret way of Halroth, where we just were. Okay, so we've returned to this, not for any other side discussion among the folks or anything, but because, once again, they wanted to remind us of the frame. Notice how the cut there from let's talk about the Oathbreakers and oh, wasn't Dad ticked off at the Oathbreakers, to seeing him in the guise of an Oathbreaker, right?
I hoped it would not be necessary to recall that dark day.
It is my turn to take up the tale. Well do I remember the day of the glory of the bright company, but if there was valor, so too was there tragedy. I hoped it would not be necessary to recall that dark day, but I see now it cannot be avoided. Glorfindel turns to address Gandalf, sorrow etched on his face and regret in his voice. I beg your forgiveness, Olorin, Mithrandir, Gandalf. What, all three of them? I wished it were not necessary to speak of it, but speak of it I will, if there is no other way. What's he apologizing for? To Gandalf, Olorin, and Mithrandir? No, but seriously, why is he apologizing?
I do not understand this reluctance.
Me neither. I have studied the records of the Siege of Barad-dûr and understand well the price of victory over Sauron. I know, too, that the victory did not last, and it would be many thousands of years before Sauron's ultimate defeat. There is nothing Glorfindel need keep from me, and his belief that I will be disturbed by this tale of the Bright Company is most puzzling to me. I say he should speak on, and delay no further. Okay. Glorfindel closes his eyes and nods with reluctant agreement. Is Isildur on board with this? I mean, he said never interrupt him again or he's going away.
Very well. I will conclude the tale.
Okay.
Despite my misgivings.
Right. Okay. I do get to pick worn gloves. No. I want the worn vambraces of the siege. Ooh. These are a big step up.
Will you hear me then?
Just a minute. Just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Yeah. Okay, are these Veamikil's bribing boots? Do I have any essences? No. Not a sausage. Wow. Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, I think that's it for gear. I think these boxes are just enchantment runes. Right? Yeah. Okay, I'm still good there. I'm still good there. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll hear you, Glorfindel. Let's do it. I'm just looking at his beard. See how much he looks like the guy that we were meeting before. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Glorfindel, I apologize. Let's I just wanted to make sure, do we ask permission of Isildur to interrupt his story, but whatever.
Listen now to the last glory of the Bright Company.
That does not sound good. I'm ready. So that's a separate instance.
Incident to the tunnel of Howroth and ventured within. Our greatest danger lay ahead.
Right. Our greatest danger lay ahead because we haven't started yet. Just looking at your hat. So you have a bright stone bound above your brow. Man, your shoulders are, your pauldrons are kind of intense. Love the purple scale mail, though, underneath. Okay. It is time. Lendelin and the other elves of the Bright Company have gone ahead to secure the tunnel, but we must still remain alert for any threats that might have arisen behind them. Stay near to me. I'm supposed to defend Gorfindel? Hey, he called me Melon. Gaunt men and their servants lie in wait, but the other elves are doing a terrible job. Oh, I shouted them all to death in one shot. Come on, are you impressed yet, Gorfindel? These risen servants are no match for the Glanothrim. Okay, how about this one? Oh, yes. It's not even fair. They can't stand up to me at all. I mean, to Gorfindel at all. Oh, yeah, I'm 3 levels up. It's crazy. Okay, Gorfindel, keep going. Somehow I gotta contrive to keep Gorfindel alive. Hey, what have you guys been doing? How'd those guys all get past you? Okay, sorry, I'm holding. Where's Lendelin? Who saw him last? He went ahead and told you guys to stay here. Fine. Okay. Did he give any reason for it? He's not going to betray them, is he? Trolls. He went ahead because of trolls. That sounds like him? Was it curiosity? There's a whole bunch of trolls, so let me go fight them myself. Lendelin has never been one to exercise caution, not when he knows his fellows could be endangered by some approaching threat. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. On any other day, I would appreciate that trait, but on this day, Lendelin is the only elf among us with the ability to break Sauron's hold upon the Vandasar. His role is crucial, and he must be protected. Okay. Let us reach Lendelin before he does something rash. Agreed. Maybe no, they're just going to stay. It's good. Look, the Bright Company is contributing. More gaunt men. Oh, Gorfindel, I'm so glad you have me with you. Oh, Lendelin found his trolls. Oh, there he is. We saw your handiwork, Lendelin, but you should have waited for us. You know how I love killing trolls. I accept the rebuke, my friend, but now there are enough trolls for us all. But are there really? Oh, here we go. Pretty sure I one-shotted that troll. Okay. Where'd you go? Oh. The passage begins to rise. We must be nearing the mountainside, well nigh to the side of the tower. Okay. Are we? Oh, hang on. Okay. There's a crack in the wall of the tower, and the tunnel runs right to it. Okay. But it is not undefended. Okay. Speak on, yeah. Your circumlocution suggests bad news. What defends this entrance? More trolls? Oh, I doubt it. Nothing so corporeal. Oh, dear. It is a shade, a spirit of no little power. Huh. A dead dude? Sauron charged it with the defense of the wall until the masonry could be repaired. What is he like? Is he a hired contractor? It is called Zagarog. Zagarog. Okay. We cannot turn back now. We must defeat this shade. Zagarog. Okay. Yeah, Kendall, it doesn't say. At least we can try scouting it to see how mighty the knee of the shade is. Is that what you're wondering? Sauron must not think we would dare this passage. How do you read that? Gaunt men are a poor defense against the bright company. Yes. Unfortunately, you have doughty men with you. Well, a doughty man. We draw nearer to the wall of the tower. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Oh, I didn't quite kill them all. I wanted to see if I could get them all in one shot. I don't remember Zagarog in the original Mordor. Come on, Lindell, and keep up. I did not believe it. But the rumors are true. Invaders in the tunnel. Oh, this is Zagarog. Okay. You will prove yourself to the master at last. Okay, it doesn't look like a human shade. Yeah, farewell indeed. Okay. Oh, it was imprisoned in the Watching Stone? Oh, okay. Hey, we're within the walls of Barad-dûr. Oh, that was the crack right there. Okay. All right. Shall I scout ahead for upholstery, sir? What is Lindell's contribution here? All of your allies must survive. Do not permit them to kill Glorfindel. All right. Listen to me very carefully, friend Guardian. Ahead a stair spirals to the upper chambers of the tower, where the Vandasar awaits me. That is our destination. Okay? But we will be exposed on the stairs, and I fear the hateful eyes that may watch our ascent. This I suggest, that you go first. Why doesn't Lancelot go? Okay. Nay, do not protest. I do not jest. I wish for you to climb first, so that I may cover your ascent with my bow. Okay. Like you can't cover your own ascent that way, but okay. I will slay any foes that think to threaten you from afar, and then the rest of us will follow. Okay, so any ranged weapons, any ranged attacks, you're going to take out, and I do the rest? Okay. Fear nothing. Yeah, no. Don't worry. This is going to be fine. Okay. Up the stairs. Okay, Lindell. That was all right. Oh, now where do I go? Door number 1, Door number 2. Do we just keep going up the stairs? Okay, I'm supposed to... There's another Alpha of the Bright Company. Oh. Okay, Lindon. Didn't have much of an angle on those dudes, but that's okay. Okay. Going up past doors in which we have frankly no interest in going. I'm just trying to not... Oh, there we go. I see you, Bright Company member. Bright Company warrior, specifically. Okay. You'll think no worse of me if I choose to turn back? What? It was fine. I didn't have to fight anybody to get up here. Okay. God, I'm truly one of you. This way. Oh, okay. So you're done using me as bait? Oh ho! I think I've seen this crew before. Hey, it's the Witch King in his salad days. I didn't do the choreographed jump. It's because I'm not a real member of the Bright Company. You are foolish indeed to challenge the will of Sauron in my burning face. What gives you the strength to this foolish? Give strength to... Oh, see? Oh, we did the jump. Okay. The Glanothrim will defy you. No, you are defying him? Then it's about defeating. But the defying is totally present tense. Okay. Hi there. Is one of you the Gloom of Nirn? Also, why'd you, the High Sorcerer of Harad? He wears red. So he's going to set that fashion trend for the Kargul later on? So the Kargul that you meet in the game are just trying to look as cool as that dude, basically. Okay, who's this? High Sorcerer of Harad. Okay, hang on. The Witch King of the Burning Faith. Oh, the Cursed Rider. He's the Cursed Rider. Okay. The Woe of Khand, my second favorite Nazgul. The Forsaken Reaver. The Gloom of Nirn. There he is. That's my favorite Nazgul. No, not the Bright Company members. Who cares? Cursed Rider. The Grim Southron. The Black Blade of Lebanon. Forsaken Reaver. The Gloom of Nirn. No, I don't care about them. The Woe of Khand, right? And the Bane of Rhûn. Okay, does that mean he killed Rhûn, or he's a Bane? He's like, I'm from Rhûn, and I'm also a Bane. Like, that's my job. I think it's got to be the latter, right? Man, yeah, the High Sorcerer, like, rocking this, like, magenta ensemble. That's the High Sorcerer. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree. That's pretty... I mean, I don't know about these hooked blades here. Can I just tell you how glad I am that that dialogue froze this instance so that I could come and meet all the Nazgul? It was so kind. Thoughtful. Hey there, Gloom of Nirn. So your outfit is... I'm not going to lie. It's disappointing, but it's okay. If your outfit were really cool... and your name is as cool as that, you just be building up the sense of inadequacy, which is obviously kind of an issue with some of the rest of them anyway. Gloom of Nirn is like, I'm a team player, right? Like, the Forsaken Reaver and I, we shop at the same store, right? We got the same, like, toothed bone helmet. Right? I mean, we just decided we're going in for the full Wonder Twins look, the two of us, right? And I know they've got a third musketeer over here, don't they? The Black Bait of Lebanon. He's like, I'm in. Yeah. People call us the third string of the Nazgul, but you know what? We know how to, coordinate on Spirit Week. And then the Bane of Hrun was like, oh, he's so embarrassed, right? He shows up and like the shade of his robe is like not quite right. He thought he was going to match the Grim South Run, but it's a little too faint, and now he feels like he stands out and he's kind of ticked. I understand. And so they were going to try to match, and they didn't get the memo about the big, huge shoulder pauldrons and stuff. But you can't have everything. But the burning face. The burning face. What does your crown say? Which king? No, I'm just kidding. I can't really see what it says. What is up with that? This mask. It's like, the Horned King meets like debutante masquerade ball, right? If you took that little mask ensemble thing and you put it on a little stick, right, that you could hold up, it'd be fetching. It really would. Oh, but look, when you look at it from the side, your horns are all like two-dimensional. Like, you probably got it from one of those costume shops where like when you look at the thing straight on, it looks awesome, but then you turn it sideways and it's obvious that it's a really cheap knockoff, right? Yeah, I can see how that would fill you with woe. Yeah. What's oh, these three have that. So they've got, it's like the what you call it, the not Chamberlain, Chancellor. The Chancellor's like long, not quite belt, not quite necklace, can't really make up its mind what it is, like the Tudors used to wear and stuff. I think it's kind of like that, or maybe it's chains to hold their robes together. But these three in the front, right? Woe of Khand, High Sorcerer of Harad, Mr. the Witch King, they've got those chains in front, which is clearly like they're clearly, first string here. And I think that makes, okay, so what's his face? The cursed rider, who, not gonna lie, 9 out of 9 for names, right? The cursed rider. Like, that's neither scary nor cool. I'm sorry. It just makes you feel vaguely sad, right? For him. I mean, like, I'm sorry. The riding thing didn't work out. I wonder what it is about him that made him such a fashion icon for Karguls everywhere. It could be a hand-me-down, as somebody was suggesting. Who was that? Kendall. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible that they are actually his robes, but I don't think, because there were a bunch of them. So, and I think he's just an inspiration to many. Maybe because he's a sort of underdog. Somehow he rose from the Nazgul with the lamest name, all the way up to, he's clearly the captain of the second string. Right? You got the Witch King and his two dudes in the front. And then obviously you've got the matching crew who are like, we're third string, but we are with it. Right? My guy, the Gloom of Nirn, along with the Forsaken Reaver and the Black Blade of Volbenin. But then you've got the mismatched twins here, Bane of Hrun and Grim Southron, clearly, obviously led by the Cursed Rider. Nobody's going to wear that kind of color to be in the background. Maybe he's a former Corsair, but why would he be the Cursed Rider? Maybe he's cursed because he was a rider. Yeah. He came up with his name the night before it was due. Can you imagine how embarrassed he'd be, right? They all reported back and they're like, and Sauron is like, tell me your names. And he goes first with like the cursed rider. And then at the end, he feels so embarrassed, right? And then this guy drops the gloom of Nirn I am the gloom of Nirn. And everyone's like, ooh, right? And the cursed rider's like muttering under his breath. Oh man. Okay. No, this is a privilege. It really is. And think about it. I mean, how many times have we gotten to see not the 9 altogether? Almost never. And secondly, not only that, but to do it without like a whole bunch of dread, so that, it's hard to see people or we're paralyzed or whatnot. I mean, this is a wonder. This is like worth the whole chapter right here. And, if I stand near enough to Glorfindel, like you can't hit me with the what do you call it? What's it called? Dread. Yeah, I only got a little bit of dread. If I stand closer to Glorfindel, if I put my arm around him, well, if he puts his arm around me, then it would probably rise up into hope, I assume. Okay. Oh, sorry, Grumpy. We're getting there. No, we're moving along. We're moving along. This is fast. But come on! I mean, it's Solve the Nazgul in their Sunday best. Seriously, this is not an opportunity. You just let go. Why can't we stay here? Though it grieves me to leave my friends to their doom? We're just bugging out, huh? See ya. Sucks to be you, I guess. Oh, man, that is a dubious tactical decision here, Glorfindel. And we're just not too late. We can still help. Whoa, help me. Okay. Oh, thought I was having a seizure. Okay. We're looking for... Oh, I found it! Few come uninvited to the tower. It's Sauron! Oh, come on. Give me a dialogue ring. How did you gain entrance to my sanctum? Well, there was a hole, gaping hole, actually, just downstairs. Zagarog. Well, no, I mean, yes, sort of. He will be punished. Or really? Ooh, really? Let me see who possesses such boldness. Ooh, the veins. You should see someone about that. Nope, not Gil-galad. Of course you know Glorfindel. Your king sent you here to die? No, I left my friends downstairs to die. Okay. If that is to be my doom, I will accept it. Okay, so this is Sauron post-Numenor. Relatively recently post-Numenor. Who are these others? One who would inspect your armor if you stop talking. They too choose death? I can grant it. Oh, thank you, Sauron. I've never said that before. Okay, hang on now. All right. So, are you wearing the ring? That's it, right? On your index finger? Wanted to see the ring on Sauron's hand, which would be kind of cool. Is that on your right hand, right? Yes, the veining. Oh my goodness, would you look at that? His whole arm is like flaming, and is it corruption? Is the ring destroying Sauron himself? No way. No way. That is so interesting. I can't figure... So the glow, I assume... Sauron, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you in now in your right hand? Because if you're in pain, I don't know. I mean, like, it looks like it's doing something to you, right? I mean, like, let's just face it. You're asymmetrical, okay? You're asymmetrical. Golly, even the shape of your hands. Looks like you've... Sauron's hand looks like it was broken and then reset by somebody who had only seen a human hand in a child's drawing. The cloak thing, slightly weird. The tattered cloak. The breastplate, though. And well, it would be impolite to call it a codpiece. Does Sauron wear a codpiece? I don't think he wears a codpiece. That would be ridiculous. Groin guard. Shall we go with groin guard? Perhaps we shall. Okay. Anyway, it all looks kind of elvish. Does it look elvish? Like all kind of vaguely leafy here? Oh, but that action on the ring hand. And look, his armpit is glowing. Right, see it? Is that reflecting off his armpit? Or is his armpit actually luminous? Can't see it from behind. I'm going with luminous. Okay. And look at the light underneath his chin. Yeah, you would think the ring would be glowing hot from the heat of his hand. But I think we're setting up Gil-galad's death for one thing. Like, it's pretty clear that burning hand is the hand that's going to be killing Gil-galad, right? I mean, so Gil-galad was destroyed, says Elrond. Yeah. See, JJ, I wouldn't think so. JJ asks a very sensible question. If it's JJ, sorry, my chat is on a navy blue background, and like half of you are being given, your usernames are being printed in royal blue on navy blue, and I can't even read it. I have to highlight it to read it. Okay, yeah, it is JJ. Okay. Could the veining be a result of him having to pour his own power into the ring? So what we're seeing is like the conduit of power down into the ring. I wouldn't think so. And the main reason I say that is that Sauron, like, he put his power into the ring at forging, right? The idea of it being a continuous draw like that is a little bit odd. I wouldn't think so. Right, exactly. He already put his power in the ring, Alexander, is just what I was thinking. Yeah, so I wouldn't think that would work, but the whole burning hand thing, which they're making one-sided here, right? And I mean, like, it's not that I would want to hold hands with them in the movie theater, but I don't think that hand is burning hot, right? I mean, I'm going out on a limb and suggesting that hand less hot than a gleed. That's what I think. Less hot than a gleed. There's a setting called readable colors. Why is a chat window automatically set not to readable colors? Is there anybody to whom that makes sense? No, but it might. Sorry, actually, it's a different chat that I'm looking at. It's not Twitch chat that I'm looking at. This is Restream chat, so it's going to be a different thing altogether. I mean, sorry. I didn't mean to get into your personal space there, Sauron. But anyway, hands. Hot hands. That's, yeah. Yeah, we're not going to ride the hot hand. That's not what that's in the totally different sense here. Okay, back to the armpit. Back to Sauron's armpit. It looks like, I think, that the, I think the implication here is that it's not, I don't think it's that he's directing his power into the ring. There seems to be, it's almost like some sort of destructive, no, not destructive interference, like amplification, right? I think it's amplification. That is to say, he has his native power, and then there's the power of the ring, and he put his own power into the ring for a reason, right? He wasn't just storing it up for a rainy day, right? It wasn't just like a convenient receptacle. he could amplify his power through the ring, but he had to put a lot of his own native power into it, right? So I think what we're seeing there is this sort of amplification process, but it makes him like there's like this, it's manifesting itself as fire, as heat, right? And the heat is running under his skin, even up through his torso, though only on the side of the ring. And I think it's the same light that's more or less burning in his eyes. Little harder to see that because I'm too short. Yes. Yeah, yes, look at that. The burning ring, which he wears on his index finger, which means I think he's still available, ladies. But anyway, the ring seems to match his eyes, right? So he's accessorizing excellently, or there's cause and effect there, right? So I think it's like the internal heat, which... yeah, I get that. I mean, the heat, it's just not just like, and it gives me the power of flame, right? I mean, it's not like it's just like because it turns me into Firestar temporarily that I get my, that's not, they're not just physicalizing it, the ring, in some kind of simplistic way. But at least that's a sort of outward manifestation, right? The fact that they're doing that whole veining thing, which looks like creeping corruption, right? I can't imagine that the ring is actually harmful to him. I mean, that would be an amazing step for them to take. Wow, the Black Hand. I really didn't expect that we were going to be meeting Sauron like this. This is exciting. No lips. Face looking disappointingly similar to the face of the mouth of Sauron in the film, which was my favorite part of the mouth of Sauron in the film, of course. But does he still have lips? Yeah, right. Okay, let's see, ladies. Right? Are you thinking it over? Right? Are we weighing the pluses and minuses here? Pros and cons. All right. Yes. Not much of a nose. It's a human skull, elf face, very tall, right? In fact, let me back away from Sauron's groin. Pinkish skin too, right? Peculiar. Okay. Glorfindel, shall we complete the flanking maneuver? I'll come over here. Yeah. All right. I think we can take him, Glorfindel. Let's do it. Your people believe they are strong, gathered beneath their banners and behind their kings. For how long has this great alliance lasted? No more than a handful of years. It needs but one hammer stroke well aimed, and it will crumble into dust, so it always is with men. I have called into being a storm, and it is on its way. Your alliance will be swept away by the wrath of it. Oh, I forgot to... So, we've got a glowing white, like, pearl-like stone of Erech, right? Corresponding to the black one. Unless it matures, is it going to change? Oh no, it's going to get corrupted. And what were we? We weren't planning to make off with that, were we? Weren't we going to come steal that thing? Did anybody bring a really large sack? Because I could have anticipated this problem if I'd really thought it through. Okay, no worries, Sauron. Let's see. Sorry, smack talk. That's where we were. Go on. No, I insist. As for the third member of this foolish band, not me. I'm the second member? What is the meaning of this guise you wear? Why, who is it really? No way. You are no elf. You look upon a woman? Glorfindel's like, I'm right here. Do you think you could work your evil unopposed? Oh no, there's some reveal coming. But that means, who's opposing you? Who is it? He's not an elf. Glorfindel feeling neglected. No! What are you doing? What am I supposed to do? Stand with Glorfindel and Lindellen. How do I... Ooh. You broke it. Oh dear. We're just... Okay, bye, Sauron. I'm supposed to follow you, but you're... No, I'm stuck. Oh dear. We're lagging. This is a bad time to lag. The thing is... We're going to time out. Come on, Glorfindel. I'm totally... Who was Lindellen, really? I thought we were going to get a reveal. And then he just keels over. Don't stop for any reason. Oh, easy for you to say. Not for any reason? Hey, Gloom. Sorry, Glorfindel's like, okay, yeah, I left you all to die. Good thing they're not interested. Look, I've been hurrying, man. Did we make it? Where is Lindellen? I thought you were... Okay. Awareness of our surroundings, Glorfindel. He's already in use, is he? Maybe the dialogue box will pop up. There it is. You thought he was right behind us? Oh, man. Lindellen, forgive me, my friend. Alas, that we must bring word both of your triumph and of your loss to the Great Alliance. By your hand, the Vandasar is broken, and Sauron's control over the Khazad Boron must begin to wane, and you should celebrate with us, but it is not to be. He didn't die. We lost him. Yeah. I'm so confused. Glorfindel. What? Oh, okay. I thought we were going back to Grimbjorn there. All right. Can you unpack that for me a little bit, Glorfindel? I remember little of our last desperate flight down the stairs and through the tunnel of Howroth. When we returned to the relative safety of Autumnbell, we were greeted with more sorrow than we brought with us. Men spoke in hushed tones of the last ride of noble Anarion. Oh dear, I told him to stay home, son of their high king, slain on the field before the Dark Tower. It was a great stone cast from the heights that laid him low and ended his life. But I will never forget that it was his riding that granted us access to Halroth and enabled Lindellen to break Sauron's hold upon the Vandasar. For so it was. With the power of the Oathstone, the Khazad Boron splintered. No longer unified, the storm of wrath dissipated, falling apart into its component tribes. The Easterlings fled, no longer dominated by Sauron's will, and they turned instead for their own lands. Their appetite for conquering was sated, and it would be many years before their return. Even so, Middle-earth has never seen so great a horde as the Khazad Boron in all the time since, and we have Lindellen to thank for that. Notice the consequences of this, one of the choices that they're making here. That is the whole Oathstone thing. I'm still on that. Remember how the association between the Stone of Erech and oath-taking is made, right? Through the story of the Oathbreakers, of course, but also through Aragorn summoning them to the stone, right? So they're establishing this like sort of uncomfortable parallel between first Isildur and then Aragorn and Sauron, right? Interesting. Okay. All right. Now, you become very quiet. Yeah, he has. Before he could explain the only things that I knew about Anarion's death. Is everything all right? Yeah, no, Gandalf doesn't know either. Glorfindel, what's up? Something speaks to me from the distant past. Really? To Gandalf? Your story is not ended, Glorfindel. I would hear the end of it. Yeah, let's hear the end of it. Actually, could we go back to the middle? Oh, totally certain. Yeah. Isildur, do you mind? You can hang out a little while longer? Okay. Lendelin was not slain, though he remained behind. Okay. Embraced. Sauron brought him to the dungeons of Barad-dûr. Okay. There he was tortured, tormented by the Dark Lord. Oh. The experience was cruel. Finally, he succumbed to death. Yeah, but who is he really? He wasn't an elf, Sauron said. Death. Yeah, Gandalf, I'm a little dubious too. Sauron said that Lendelin was not of your people. Exactly. Come on now. Don't think you can pull this over us, Glorfindel. Out with it. Sauron spoke true. Lendelin was no elf, and that was not his true name. Uh-huh. He had been sent to Middle-earth by the Valar in the guise of my people. I was beginning to guess that. He was to combat the evils of Sauron, and thus he did. Gandalf is like, right, yeah, that tracks. Tell me about it. Many years later, in this third age of Middle-earth, they sent him back. Oh dear, did they? They gave him a new name and a new form. No. They also gave him this kindness. They removed all memory of his life as Lendelin. Okay. So he didn't remember that you abandoned him. Can it be so? Yes, I remember. The veil of the Valar abates. Dun dun dun. Voice from the distant past. I have walked this Middle-earth for the long years of this third age, sent by the powers to oppose Sauron. But this was not the first time the Valar sent me hither, though they hid the truth of it from my memory's sight. For what purpose? It is true. I remember the bright company, not only from the tales of Glorfindel, but as if I were there, for so I was, in different form. I know the torments Lendelin suffered within the dungeons of Barad-dûr, for it was I who suffered them. And though Sauron be gone, the memory of those days fills me with a terror I thought never to know. But this cut is the worst. I have known these elf lords for so long, and this secret they kept from me. Why? Why did you keep this truth from me, Glorfindel? Have I not been a friend to you, no matter the name I wore? You knew me first as Olorin, and now you know me as Gandalf or Mithrandir. Why would you keep the knowledge of Lendelin from me? No, I am not angry. Perhaps it was a kindness to keep this from me. What say you to this? Interesting. Okay. Now, I'm interested because I'm not sure where we're going. Let's go. Oh, no, we're finishing. Okay. Gandalf in the Second Age. So you're saying that Gandalf came before. Uh-huh. And then came back again a second time? Boy, any adaptation that would come up with a story like that is ridiculous, isn't it? Okay. Fascinating. What I'm fascinated by is this sort of extra dimension that they're choosing to give to Gandalf's character, right? Not just having him come before, but the suffering specifically. That even though he was made to forget it, he still has endured suffering, and he's acquainted with grief, like Nienna. Does that sort of complete his education in some way? Anyway, I'm thinking about. There will probably be some more discussion here, but I'm thinking about how they're sort of layering this on. Yeah. Very interesting. By the way, do you get different stories if you come as I'm seeing this other dude? Like, hello there, Mr. Dwarf. Which makes me wonder, do you get different versions of the story if you're playing a dwarf or an elf or a hobbit or something? I mean, as a human guardian, I kind of fit right in there with Isildur's sons, but okay, just wondering. That would be a lot to have, like, it's a long story arc to do completely different versions of. Little disappointed. I mean, not totally disappointed to not see Anarian's head crushed with a boulder, but I was kind of hoping we were going to get to see the final battle and stuff. We saw so much. I shouldn't be greedy.
So it is done.
When I beheld Aloran in a new guise in this third age, I knew him to be Lendelin come again, and yet he knew nothing of his former life, and remembered nothing of the trials he endured within Barad-dûr. Of course, there's the one touchstone here, right, that they're going off of, clearly, and that is, I alone of you have ever been in the dungeons of the Necromancer, and then only, right, in his older and lesser stronghold at Barad-dûr. Gandalf's experience, his infiltration of Barad-dûr, I mean, that seems a connection that they're sort of exploiting or working with here, and it gives another little dimension to it. What I'm still trying to figure, when you make a choice like this, that's a big choice, right? To give a whole extra backstory to Gandalf is a pretty big choice for them, storytelling choice for them to make. What do they gain, right? What is added to the story? What narrative dimensions are kind of opened up by that choice, right? Yeah. Interesting. Well, we'll see. We'll see where they go with it, or if they go much further. I could think of only one reason for that. The Valar had kept the memory of that experience from him as a mercy and a kindness. For if he remembered the cruel tortures he suffered at the hands of Sauron, how could he oppose the Dark Lord upon his return, knowing the extent of Sauron's malice? Wait a second. Is there implication here that it's like, remember he was sent to stand against Sauron? Is this why he doesn't take up the leadership? Right? Why he stands in the background? To remain, the friendly neighborhood Gandalf the Grey, instead of stepping forward to become Gandalf the White from the beginning, right? Instead of, being the leader of the council. Is that the implication here? That it is not just a part of Gandalf's own backstory, but in a sense of the backstory of his humility? How did he come to be so humble? Why doesn't he put himself forward? But see, in some ways you could say it undermines that, because if we're thinking that his not putting himself forward is a product of his PTSD, his sort of subliminal suppressed PTSD, then instead of it being a virtue, as a result of a virtue of his, namely humility, it would be as a result of trauma, which is an odd turn to Gandalf's character. But, okay. Sorry. I'm going to stop after every paragraph and say 8 times as much as the paragraph. And so we chose not to speak of Lendelin or his sad fate within the Dark Tower during the final days of the Second Age. I did not wish to inflict this harm upon Aloran, Mithrandir, or Gandalf. None of the three. And for that I beg his forgiveness. Lendelin was my closest advisor, my dearest friend, and I failed him. I thought it best to leave his memory behind, for if that was the purpose of the Valar, I would not wish to do otherwise. So you're just going along with the Valar. And it not at all influenced by the fact that you were hoping he wouldn't remember that you abandoned him there? What do you think about this, Gandalf? Tell me, how does this make you feel?
Do not trouble yourself, Glorfindel, on my account.
All that was kept from me has been restored, and I do not begrudge you for keeping secret that which the Valar hid from me. Indeed, in this knowledge I find reassurance, for I see now that my reluctance to oppose Sauron directly was born from Lendelin's sad fate. Right, okay, yeah. And is it not true that Frodo's quest proved successful, and the Ring and the Dark Lord both defeated at one stroke? Indirect opposition found success where direct opposition could not, and in that, I may say, the Bright Company came at last to have its greatest triumph. By all dying horribly when Glorfindel abandoned them? That was really the best thing he could have done. Okay, but I remember now that which I did not before. I know the end of the tale. Okay?
While Sauron tormented Lendelin within Barad-dûr, his enemies were not idle.
Okay, the leaders of the Great Alliance met once more in secret. A trap was decided upon, a trap with which to ensnare Sauron and draw him forth from his tower. Now we get it. Now this is the second stratagem. So they're still going to draw Sauron out into the last battle with a stratagem. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta... okay. Right, okay. The Lady Galadriel had remained at Minas Ithil after she and Lord Celeborn drove the Nazgul from the valley. Right, for their big meetup in Barad-dûr, as we just saw. Now she sent her thought to Lendelin, and she spoke directly through Sauron's prisoner to the Dark Lord. Oh, Lendelin. Right, I'm like, which... Okay, so Galadriel speaks directly, uses Gandalf as her sock puppet to speak to Sauron. One broke the gates of Ithil, Lendelin said, his last breaths upon him, and Sauron laughed, for he had the mastery. Two sundered the ramparts of Morannon. Okay, one broke the gates of Ithil. Two sundered the ramparts of Morannon, Lendelin continued. Oh, one ring of power. I'm so tracking. Got it. One, parentheses, elven ring, broke the gates of Ithil. Two, parentheses, elven rings, sundered the ramparts of Morannon, Lendelin continued, and doubt began to gnaw at the Dark Lord. He had long feared the elven rings, and in his secret heart he dreaded to think that they could be used against him. But three, Lendelin said as the last of his strength departed. The power of the three, wielded together, shall cast you down at last. But they can't wield them. And so Lendelin perished, and his final words remained... within Barad-dûr. While Sauron in Barad-dûr... Huh. Okay. Sauron didn't know that? I guess so. It's just a bluff? They're just bluffing. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking again about... I just like that vision of Sauron's forearm is running through my head. And I was just suddenly remembering the references to the 2 and the 3. It was reminding me of what Gogauad said in the tent, right, during the council that we weren't supposed to be at, the one that we gate crashed. And he was implying that they do harm to the elves, right, that he could barely... He was wielding 2 but could barely stand it, and that he thought that 3 would overcome him, which makes me wonder if they are suggesting that the One Ring was, in effect, corrupting even Sauron. Okay. Interesting. In a sense, that tracks. So on the one hand, you could say, well, but it's his own power. Why would it hurt him? But clearly making the Ring of Power harmed him, right? It does damage him. It weakens him at the very least, right? So, and the model, the role model, the negative role model, right, for Sauron is Morgoth, right? And you think of the way that in which Morgoth was himself weakened, not only weakened, but in a sense corrupted, right? Drawn down that path to nihilism. And are they is the, Sauron wielding the power of the One through this like kind of amplification mechanism, right, that he made, exactly however that works, is in fact, so they're outwardly, visibly representing that, showing like the fire and power and light of his being, but it's like he's on fire, right? It's like he's being eaten out from within by the flames and actually damaged in a sense by the ring, which in turn suggests that the Lotro developers are leaning hard into the idea that the rings of power are just flat damaging, right? If even the elven rings, right, which in the book Elrond gets a little tetchy defending, right? But it suggests that they're serious. Well, I'm going to say seriously bad news. That's perhaps a little strong. Okay. Anyway, did I finish? And so Lendelin perished, and his final words remain hidden to me for this past age, which were, the power of the three wielded together shall cast you down at last. But now I know what they wrought, the words, for it was by this message that the deceiver was himself deceived. Sauron climbed to the pinnacle of Barad-dûr, and looking from that vast height he beheld a shining figure ascending the slopes of Mount Doom. Fear seized him, and he imagined that Gil-galad possessed all three elven rings, and would use them together to destroy him, for the three were hidden from his sight, but he thought he could sense they had been united at last. That's a fascinating twist. By twist, what I mean is, here, as with so many good Tolkien adaptations, you can, I mean, I think I know the passage of text that they were thinking of there, about the elven rings being hidden from his sight. But the place in the text that talks about the elven rings being hidden is when they took them off. Like, because they removed them and didn't use them, they were hiding the rings from his sight. Whereas here, they're kind of taking that and twisting that a bit, and suggesting that the elven rings themselves are preventing him. Like, the power of the elven rings shields them from his sight. There's precedent for that too. In Galadriel, when she lifts up her hands to the east in defiance, right, of Sauron, which seems to suggest the use of her elven ring. But remember, that's a Sauron who does not have the one on his hand. She wouldn't be able to do that. She wouldn't even be wearing her ring. And I'm not saying they can't change this. They obviously are changing this. Well, it looks like they're changing. It sounds like they're changing it. So yeah, they've kind of taken those two moments and sort of brought them together, right? That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah. Very cool. Let's keep going here. Okay, Elrond, what are your thoughts about this? Oh, hang on. Elrond, I better stand over here. Sorry, Glorfindel. I don't want to be in your personal space, but I'm trying to line myself up with his... There we go. Now he's looking at me. Come on, Elrond, what do you have to say?
The Dark Lord unleashed the last of his armies in a final bid to destroy his enemies.
So, Barad-dûr was emptied, kind of like Angband in the Near Nigh Arnoriad. I was with my king on this day. I know what then befell. Great. Elrond picks up the story. Fantastic. The Dark Lord opened his gates and emptied Barad-dûr. He uses the word emptied, yeah. Unleashing the... It's a little clandestine Silmarillion reference. Echo, not reference. Echo of the Silmarillion, which is totally legit and nothing wrong with that at all. unleashing the last of his armies in a final bid to destroy those who besieged him. On the slopes of Mount Doom, he brandished his black-maced Mordagnir. Oh, Mordagnir. Dagnir, you may... Well, Mor, of course, we know is black, right? Like Mordor and everything else. Dagnir is from the tombstone of Turin, right? Dagnir Glorunda, the Slayer or Bane. So Black Bane is his mace. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, all right. Sorry, distracted. Wading through friend and foe alike, the Dark Lord, not Gil-galad, gotcha, until at last he faced the High Kings of the Alliance. The One Ring shone on his finger, yeah, I noticed that, and he sent forth his evil thought, seeking to dominate Gil-galad's mind when he donned the three. Right, yeah, like he would. But he did not see it. Gil-galad threw back his head and laughed at Sauron, and the Dark Lord was filled with rage. The rings of my people may be together, my liege declared, but they are far from here, far from you. And Sauron knew he had been deceived, lured from the safety of his tower, and he knew his peril. But above all else, he desired to inflict anguish upon those arrayed before him. He sent his will into the One Ring, and his foes were held fast by its spell. Sauron fell upon them in deadly combat, and great gouts of ash and flame roared from the peak of Mount Doom. I stood on the slope, too far to aid my king, but near enough to feel the terrible heat of that battle. Even now I can feel it, and I know the pain of that day anew. Oh. The whole quest was 2 pieces of dialogue, right? Love it. Give me more story quests like this. I'm all about it. Hang on just momentarily. Might, that's the one I want, right? Yeah. I want the Might Cloak. Ooh, I got 2 major essences of morale on that puppy, though. The old one. Yeah. I think I'm keeping that. Ooh. Movie.
That day, as battle raged upon Golgoroth, the fates of many were decided. Gil-galad and Elendil challenged the Dark Lord, and he answered with a power none could resist. But as the enemy toyed with his foes, the kings of elves and men struck. It was their greatest deed, and their last.
So he stabs him with eyeglass? Oh, stabs him there too. Oh, he breaks it off in his chest? No way.
And after,
yeah,
as payment for so many losses,
Isildur looted his
and
corpse.
Weirgild for his father's death,
yeah,
Isildur claimed his prize. The ruling ring.
Wear safety gloves. Okay, yeah, safety first, Isildur. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Okay. That's the best adaptation of the ending of Sauron I've ever seen. That was so good. So, they broke off. So Elendil's like, I'm breaking off Narsil in your chest cavity. Oh man. That was really cool. Okay. And then, yeah, they had Sauron lying there, not quite dead, right? And the ring was cut. Love it. That was cool. That was cool. I feel like there's more story with Aeglos that I didn't get. And of course, it seems hardly coincidental that the first weapon to wound him was the one called Icicle, when he's all like burning flame, right? And the fact that he has this, Blackbane, his mace, but he gets disarmed, or the mace is broken by Narsil, which is pretty boss. And And then he kills Gil-galad with his flaming hand, just like it says in the book. But so it's basically the power of the ring almost directly, right? So cool. Well, yeah. Edith, I remember finding Eyeglass, and I'm looking for Grifflet. Cannot wait to Grifflet cannot wait to follow up that quest line and learn more about Eyeglass. Is that all though? Because I don't think I got the whole story there. I mean, found it. I did find it. I did that. Wigend did that. He was weak. Did a side quest. Several side quests in Mordor. Darn it, no, I want more. It's one of the things, by the way, side note, I have a suspicion that in the Rings of Power, they're going to do more with Eyeglass, and I'm ready. Like, I'm here for that. They implied a lot about it here in Lotro, but anyway.
Sauron was defeated.
Yeah.
But at great cost.
Sure. Elves and men wept for their lost kings, for the like of Gil-galad and Elendil would never come again. But there was joy too, for the war was ended, and none could see the sorrows of the age to come. The ring should have been destroyed on that day, but it was not. Isildur took the ring as payment for the death of his father and the travails of his people, an heirloom of his house, and a record of their triumph over evil. You're talking about him like he's not standing right there. The several kindreds that composed the alliance returned to their homelands, nursing their grief and holding dear the memory of their triumph. We believed Sauron was gone forever, and it was not so. I thought Isildur might have something to contribute to this conversation at this point. Okay. Made it through chapter 12. The only question, it's not exactly how much time I have. Remember, it's how long I can stay upright. But I'm feeling kind of lively after that exciting thing. I mean, you know, the exciting quest in which we stood here on the hill and went nowhere and did nothing. Yes, I'm all invigorated now. We can keep going a little bit more. Okay, Shade of Isildur, what do you have to say for yourself? Still haven't exactly figured what oath you broke.
My memory is less certain of the years following the defeat of Sauron.
Gulthava's enchantment still enwreaths my mind, and I find it difficult to clearly recall the events that transpired. There were 2 years of peace, that I know, and during those years the kingdom of Gondor was restored to order. Vows were taken before the oath stones, and a tomb made for my father at Amon Anwar. It was to be a hallowed place. Yeah. How many more oath stones are there? Tomb for your father. Ironically, Grifflet is just about to go to the tomb of your father. Yeah. No, that's exactly where I am in the Grifflet line. At last it was time for me to take up my father's place on the high throne in the north. My queen and my youngest son waited for me in Rivendell, where they marked the time during the war, so I chose not to sail. With a company of knights, my sons, and the heirlooms of my house, I rode north, to my death and the death of my sons. We were all of us betrayed. You have agreed to help me avenge this treachery, right? Did I vaguely remember that, but I do not see the face of my betrayer. Oh, right, you were actually betrayed, but right, somebody in your party, but probably not the dude whom I was impersonating. I'm remembering that angle now, and cannot remember what befell. In my mind's eye, I can only see a chamber with a white stone beneath a rotating beacon. Rotating beacon, really. But all is hazy, as if I look from a great distance. Oh, I hope it's not your foster son. Things were trending in that direction. Yeah. I do not know what this vision signifies. Gulthava's enchantment releases its grip upon my mind but slowly, and leaves only mystery in its wake. Okay. Well, more people to talk to on the hill. Oh, Gandalf is putting it together.
Yes, my friend. I know what chamber Isildur describes.
Rotating beacon? Unmistakable. Many pieces fall now into place for me, for as Lendelin, I knew many things and saw much. It is as if a room that was sealed to me has been flung open, and while the pain is unwelcome, the knowledge is not. I deem it a worthy trade, though Glorfindel regrets the necessity. This I believe, Wigend. It was known to Sauron's servants that Isildur perished in the Gladden's fields. Right. They scoured the swamplands hereabout in search of the ring. Right. But they found it not. In time his bones were recovered and borne away to places of great evil, perhaps to the very houses of lamentation, it is said lie hidden somewhere within Mordor. What unholy rites were performed with his remains? Ugh. Unholy rites? Doesn't Unfinished Tales imply that Saruman found Isildur's bones? No, it wonders. He found the Elendilmere, which led them to speculate that he probably found the bones of Elendil, and they worried that he disrespected them in some way. So by implication, they are implying here that the continuing... So in the text, Sauron's servants do not suspect that, like, they're not looking for the ring. If the orcs and the surviving Nazgul had started dredging the river, the next day, presumably they'd have found it, right? Especially since they're suggesting they found Elendil's body, but not the ring. And so the implication of the sort of, the adapted storyline that they're telling here as they're filling in these blanks would seem to be that some power, I can put it no more plainly than this, some other power hid the ring away until it was found by Diegol, right? Interesting. But anyway, let me get back to the disturbing possibility of some unspeakable, unholy rites performed with his remains. I don't even want to know what happened at that party. I hazard no guess, but in time perhaps even the servants of Sauron tired of this villainy. It would, unholy rites with the bones of Isildur is so last year. And his bones were brought to some chamber where they in time were forgotten. The white stone Isildur describes must be the Vandasar of Duath, which stood in Minas Ithil until the forces of Sauron captured that city during the Second Age. How many pet rocks did Isildur... Oh, 7. We know how many he brought. Right. Okay, sure. Yeah. Minas Ithil until the forces of Sauron captured that city during the Second Age. Second Age. Right. Not the Third Age. Sorry, I was in Third Age mode, but he's going backwards from the... No, I thought we were in the Third Age here. Bones of Isildur, Third Age. But anyway, okay. So we're looking... But meanwhile, back in the Second Age, it was there, and then it was moved to Barad-dûr at the direction of the Witch King, hauled on a great wagon, pulled by hill trolls into Gorgoroth. That's pretty specific. It was in the Dark Tower that the Bright Company broke the spells upon it. Right, so that was the Ithil Vandasar that Lendelin / Gandalf shattered. Okay, which means the narrative is tying the Ithil stone, Isildur's own oath stone, is the one that's being used to create the Storm of Wrath, right? To bind the Easterlings. Okay. All right. Trying to maintain the connections that are being established here. Okay, it was moved to Barad-dûr, giant wagon. Okay. After the war, back to the Third Age, when the Alliance razed Barad-dûr to its foundation, well, to the ground, but its foundation remained. They didn't raise the foundation. Everybody knows that, of course. It's not what Gandalf is implying. To, but not including its foundation, the Vandasar must have been returned to Minas Ithil. Really? So it wasn't... I thought he was breaking it. He didn't break it. He just broke its power? Did they bring the cracked Vandasar back? For sentimental purposes? So that explains the White Stone. But what of the rotating beacon? Indeed, there was a beacon of some note in that city, kept in an upper chamber atop Barad Curan, the Tower of the Crescent Moon. It seems to me the bones of Isildur came to lie within the tower. If his shade is to find rest, these bones must be recovered. Really? What would it have to do with his bones? That's peculiar. I mean, like, theologically peculiar is what I mean. So in order to set Isildur to rest, we have to recover his bones? Why should that matter? I mean, remember, like, the Oathbreakers had to fulfill their, when Aragorn declared their oath fulfilled, the curse was broken, and they faded away. They didn't have to, go fetch their bones for that, right? Yeah, okay. Huh. Okay. Sorry, just trying to parse this. Let me explain what I mean. When I say I'm trying to parse this, I think I'm following what they're doing. I'm just trying to figure out why. It's a peculiar move, and it's made the more peculiar by the fact that Lotro has been doing the Oathbreaker shtick since Fornost, right? I mean, they have bought into the idea, it would seem, that human ghosts are hanging out ghostily because of the breaking of oaths, right? And the bringing of curses upon them. To bring in the bones here, there's a precedent for this, but it's not a Tolkien precedent. What it makes me think of is the Aeneid. It is the Aeneid, isn't it? Yes, it's the Aeneid. In the Aeneid, when Aeneas goes to the underworld in Book 6, outside the gates of the underworld, he meets the spirit of his former, was it his helmsman? I think his former helmsman. Anyway, one of his peeps, and the shade of his peep, whose name I forget, said, "Hey, I'm out here hanging outside the gates of the underworld. I'm in the permanent waiting room for the underworld because I wasn't given a proper burial, right? Because I died in this strange place and my bones were just sort of left there. So if you can go and find my body and give me a proper burial, then my spirit will be released to go into the underworld, right?" That idea, that seems to be, I mean, if I'm tracking with what Gandalf is saying here, it sounds like they're suggesting that kind of a mechanism, that kind of a spiritual situation where spirit and physical body are tied together in such a way that if the physical body is not laid to rest, the spirit can't rest. Palinurus! Merlin's parents, that's it! Palinurus, of course, Palinurus. And he was the helmsman, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was the helmsman, Palinurus. Yeah, that's exact. I'm sure that's it. Yeah, so as I said, their precedent, it's not like this idea comes out of nowhere. But I can't think of Tolkien using that idea anywhere. Can you think of anywhere where, like, unquiet dead or something, where they're, or think of it from the other direction, instead of thinking about it of, like, you know, wandering ghost, right? Looking for long-term companionship, needs to be restored to his body in order to achieve eternal rest. Like, instead of thinking about it from that angle, I'm trying to think about it from the other angle, like, body here. It's important to put the body to rest lest we do this. The only thing I can think of that reminds me of this at all is Boromir. Actually, Boromir, the laying to rest, the funeral for Boromir. Aragorn seems, all of them seem pretty confident that they've got to set Boromir, they've got to, like, bury Boromir. They can't just run off. You know, they can't just, like, kick dirt over him and go. Even though the urgency to pursue Merry and Pippin is so great that Aragorn takes it as a sign not to follow Frodo, right? There's this heavy imperative on them to rescue their friends, but there's an even heavier, that is to say, more urgent imperative on them to bury their other friend. There's no explicit sort of spiritual dimension to that. No implication that I can recall that Boromir will rest unquietly if they don't do that. But at the very least, those actions are consistent with this. You know, How is Isildur like Palinurus the helmsman? Didn't see that coming. The business about the bones of Isildur. Yeah. In Dilwyn, yeah. In Dilwyn, you're right to remember that funerary customs are a really important part of the Númenórean storyline in Tolkien's mind. And I don't just mean their obsession with death and the tombs, you know, greater than the palaces of kings, like, you know, that stuff, like, about the disproportion of their focus on death. I don't just mean that. I mean, the funeral ships. Tolkien was so into the story of the funeral ships, like Shield Chafing at the beginning of Beowulf, right? The boat full of treasure washes up on the shore, and there's a kid in it, right? And like, where did he come from, right? Foundling King Shield Chafing story, right? King Horn, Tolkien wrote a whole poem about this. He was into this, especially during the, you know, when he should have been finishing The Lord of the Rings. And, but anyway, the idea of the funeral boats, you know, the burial at sea, like the Viking and, you know, Saxon thing of sending them out to sea with the treasures in the ship. That was, by implication, a Númenórean custom as well. So Boromir kind of recalls that. I'm digressing, sort of. Still just trying to process this connection I did not expect. Well, we'll see where we go. But let us not dwell upon, far be it from me to dwell upon anything he just said, right? Yeah, I agree. Let's move on swiftly, Gandalf. We have been some time away from the Bjorning lands. We sure have, and Grimbeorn may worry at our absence. I doubt it. Be glad of it? Possibly. We should return to him and assure him we still have need of his hospitality. I desire also to return to my study of the Black Book of Mordor, for now I see some things I long held to be certain were perhaps not so, and I wonder at some avenues of learning I might have dismissed too readily. Right, coming back with a whole, like, another lifetime's worth of memories, maybe you can reassess the book from that perspective. Okay. Talk to Grimbjorn. All right. Well, I spent 20 minutes on a quest in which I just had to talk to one person, so maybe I'm going to... Well, I've got to, like, travel now and stuff. Well, what are mithril coins for, after all? Okay. Oh, right. This is Girta, whose side quest still yet cannot tempt me. The enormous beehives that encrust this house, I still find a little bit creepy. Very sticky place to live. Okay. Yep, this is me.
So, the wizard and the elves have not gone.
Oh, all right, so you're disappointed that we came back. I knew you would be. You again, and here I hoped you might have gone and taken elf and wizard and elves with you. It was a pleasant thought, but now it is dashed.
If they remain, you must still perform the chores I ask of you.
Of course. Of course. Sent back for chores. We have need of firewood, for so near to the mountains the nights can be cold even in summer. And there are still orcs and wargs about, despite your efforts of the other day. Oh, good, he didn't say a number, so I don't have to double it. Okay. Grimbjorn, what would happen if I didn't? If I just walked away, right? Then what? You're going to push Glorfindel, Elrond, and Gandalf out? And snappy traveler Arwen over here. I gotta say, Arwen, love the boots. Love the boots. Okay. All right. Let's do one more collaboratory drawing. Another free month in the collaboratory at the essential subscription level for anyone who... Where did it go? Who can find the link? No, okay, here it is. There. Okay, got it. And here's the link again to the forum. Here we go. Action R1 with Kung Fu grip. Yeah. Okay. All right. Elrond trying not to look. Elrond, just saying, you might want to go spend time with your daughter. You know, time's a way tick-tock, man. Oh, they're red because I'm 124 now. All right. Oop, hang on, Wigend. Gotta bring out a few of these. Little XP boost. Okay. Oh yeah, one of these really helpful. Thinks, what am I doing? I'm collecting firewood. I'm defeating orcs. I'm defeating wargs. Okay. All right. Yes, fill it out again. Fill it out again. Fill it out again, and you will be rewarded. Well, anyway, you'll be entered. Because see, this way, it's for folks who are here. It's like a door prize, right? So I'm just doing a drawing of the people who have filled out the form since the last time we did a drawing. Okay. So it's like if I were doing it through Twitch using the raffle command, you'd have to enter it again every time, right? So this is just like that. And I'm not using the raffle command in Twitch because we have viewers on YouTube as well. And other places like Facebook. Hark, I think I see some firewood. Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. Oh. You're telling me there are wargs and orcs up there? Up on the hill? All right. Well, I'll have a look. I got pretty frustrated trying to find them down in the south away last time, so we'll see what we can find from up here. Oh, come on, you can do it. Oh, come on now. There we. Are you serious? Okay. I knew that this had to be. Oh, wow. Okay. Nope, that's a valley fly. That's a veil heart. I'm staying away from them. The deer still terrify me. A red fox. Oh, here's a swarm of gnats. Swarm of gnats at least bring some entertaining percussion with them. Okay. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. No. Oh, that's a huge mushroom. Come on now. Bunch of veil flies. Another gnat swarm. Are those all bugs down there? Yes, they are. And a badger. Seriously, come on now. I don't think there's a single orc or warg up here, and this, according to the map, the whole place is lousy with them. Seriously, do they think I play this game for the sake of hunting for wargs and orcs to kill? Why make this hard? For the narrative, like, okay, like, I get it. The Bjornings are grumpy, and that's fun. You know, we're playing them sort of true to type, and I thought that maybe the one quest ring that appeared would be like a camp of theirs. But it turns out it's just a place where all the does live. Okay. Yeah, I remember the Arcs and Wargs at the south edge of the house, and they were really hard to find, but apparently the rest of this shading on the map is just lies, like actual deception. Purposed to waste my time. Run faster. If you can't find wargs and orcs, don't find them at top speed. Oh, finally. 1, 2, 3. Hey, that's all of them. Okay, now orcs. Oh, there they are. Oh, good, there's plenty. And these guys are level 120? Gonna be grayed out soon. Now, come on. Come up and stand by the archer. Can we do that? Great. Okay. There we go. I'm totally using the milestone to get me to the house over there. May you ask a question related to the Hobbit book? Yeah, go ahead. Happy to talk about the Hobbit. We're here at Bjorn's house after all. What could be better? Here you go. Grimjorn, is your stuff.
Yes, very good, fine.
You have done the chores I asked you to undertake and earned the wizard and the elves a few more days of hospitality. There is something else, however. It is not a matter of real concern,
But I'm glad you're bothering me with it then in that case.
but I find I have not heard from the elves at the forest gate in some time, and I wonder if it signals some trouble for my folk. If it does, I would have this problem resolved early rather than late. Go to the forest gate and make certain the elves have things well in hand. If they don't, be sure to tell them so.
Okay, go see if the elves are slacking off, and if they are, scold them firmly. Have we ever gotten the present participle scolding? Or like berating? I love the present participles. If I were on the Lotro team, I would be constantly thinking of fun new present participles to put on progress bars. That would be like one of the highlights of my job. Probably drunk, knowing what elves. Okay, here we go. Okay. You guys all dead or something? If not, what's your excuse? A number of dead orcs. That number being 2. Oh, no, wait, there's some over there. I see. All right, hang on. One dead orc. Okay, no, we got... What's that? Is that an enticing page? Yeah, no, not interested. Well, you're standing there in exactly the posture of, like, one of the members of the Bright Company left to die. Do you realize that? Thindrif. Hiya, Thindrif.
A raiding party of orcs sought to leave the forest.
Right.
You can see what happened to them.
Yes. It is curious indeed for orcs to challenge us on the road. Did they not know our quivers held their doom? They did seem driven by some desperate haste. Search the bodies, and you may learn what caused them to dare the gate to their sorrow. Okay. Search the slain. Shall I? Searching. I have to admit, searching is one of my least favorite. I mean, just because it's like one of the most generics present. Ooh, symbol of Ugrachor, captain of the pit. Do tell. So these are Mordor orcs, former slaves of Ugrachor. Right, they've got the Mordor sigil on the front. Okay. Ugrachor, right? Like I knew who their captain used to be. Does that make me cool in your opinion, Thindrif, or?
Their need must have been great to challenge us. they paid dearly for it.
Oh, second sentence. Did you find anything that might explain why the orcs dared attempt the passage of the forest gate? Their need must have been great to challenge us. Yep. Okay. Wait a moment. Did you say you searched the bodies of 4 orcs? That is most peculiar, friend. By my bow, I would swear the raiding party consisted not of 4 orcs, but 5. Can it be that one of these creatures slipped through the forest gate while we were distracted by the others? Search to the south in the Bjorning lands for a missing orc. Great. I was already just hunting them, and it was annoying. There may be some tracks you can follow. Okay. Well, fine. So, one made it through, huh? Some fine gatekeeping you're doing over here. If it's as easy as that. All right. At least I have a more or less precise... Who are you, little ground bird running around here? Oh, you're a grouse. That's kind of adorable. Okay. Gnats, don't make me shout you to death. Now you're gonna. Okay. Oh, I didn't quite get them all. Oh, yes, I did. I damaged over timed them with a shout. Okay. What am I looking for? Apart from gnats? The missing orc. Okay. Hello? Am I getting warm? Oh, hang on. I found a hiding... Oh, there's a hiding place. Oh. Okay, hang on. Sorry. I apologize. Just a moment here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Hello? Is there anybody in this bush? He's dead, but he carries a crumpled note. Where? Is he there? Yeah, there he is. Yeah, it's a good hiding place, but he's only near the hiding place. Right. Yeah, it is easier when there's a big floating name saying hiding place above it. Okay. Crumpled note. We found what you sent us in search of, Ugrakor. But my boys need a big reward if you think we're giving it to you. There were elves crawling all over that ruin. No, a ruin, you say? Do tell. Hang on. Elves crawling over a ruin. Which ruin? Up in the north? Where are you coming from? What was it? That where we just were? Like Scarhold up here? Gandalf showed up. Did the elves show up there too? I don't even remember now. Anyway, okay, sorry. Where were we? Elves crawling all over it. Barely escaped with our lives. We had to take the long way and ran into some trouble with her minions. Her minions. Oh, right, the lady. Yeah, we're still doing the Mordor thing. They were going our way, and none of the boys wanted to chance it. We're going to try the Elf Gate next. But we found the opening spell, or part of it anyway. The Falch Gurth won't remain closed to you any longer. How badly do you want it? Oh, it's an extortion note. Sure. Okay. Maybe me and the boys will bring these words to Gothmog. He'd find them interesting, wouldn't he? And I wager he'd be quite generous. Gothmog. Yeah. You promised a reward. Double it and he'll never see this opening spell. I'm sure you will make the right decision, boss. Okay. Okay. Falk Falkgurth. Let's see what Gandalf has to say here. Okay, there's a gate up here. Oh, I guess. Yeah, there's a fence. I was gonna say, isn't there a fence? Thought there was a fence. Oh, accidentally trampled Elrond to death. Really embarrassing. I'll leave a note apologizing. Those doors are pretty seriously cool. All right, Gandalf, what do you say?
Oh, you have returned. What is it?
A note. Falkgurth. No, I've never heard of it before. That is not important right now. Sorry. Sounds like he's quoting Airplane. I need to speak with you, Wigend. Okay. We're not going to... Oh, hang on. We got something here. Oh, it's a pocket thing? Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. I forgot. Grifflet is the one whose pockets are always full. Okay. I don't think this is really an upgrade, but take it anyway.
I suspected there was something I missed in the Black Book.
Yes.
And I was right.
Uh-huh. I could not place my finger upon it, but something stirred within the recesses of my mind, and I found a new avenue of study worth following. Things are not as we believed. Okay. I think this instance might be the end of the line for me, but double check my pending loot. Oh, that's horrifying. Okay, no, we're fine. I hate pending loot quests. One of my biggest Lotro pet peeves. Okay. Falkgurth, but that's not important right now. All right. Tell me. Oh, wait, hang on a second. I forgot an important thing. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, wait, but if I do this... Hang on, let me just check. Yeah, we'll just see over here. Okay. I want to see what the cloak looks like. Hmm. Not bad. I mean, you know, I'm wearing a matching outfit, so I'm not going to put it on, but... Okay. I just wanted to see what it looked like cosmetically. The new cloak I found. Okay. Let's do it.
I have made a worrisome discovery.
Give me your attention. Do not let it wander. Oh, come on, Gandalf. As if. You must know what I have learned. I have made a worrisome discovery. Worrisome feels like a letdown at the end of that prologue, you know? Like, never mind. I'm not letting my attention wander, Gandalf. We're moving. Straight through.
Listen now to my words and the words of Voin.
Voin, Black Book. We're in the Remember All, or whatever this is. Where are we? Halls of Memory. Yes, that's it. That's where we are. Talk to Gandalf. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's right. And there's all this cerebral sludge lying around. Yeah. Okay.
From my earlier study of the Black Book, we learned of Vowen's encounter with Magaldir the elf, I remember this, in the Grey Mountains and their subsequent friendship. Unremarkable, perhaps, and yet we marked it, for an air of mystery surrounds this tome. Both the circumstances in which it was found and the writing between its black covers fill me with intrigue and unease in equal measure. From the Shade of Isildur, we learned somewhat of Magaldir the elf, and few of his deeds seemed notable. It is no slight to him, merely the truth that his most significant achievement appears to be his survival. Nearly 2,000 years passed before his name surfaced anywhere, and that in the Black Book. What then of Magaldir's inclusion? Why did Vowen see fit to write of this elf? We must return in these halls of memory to Vowen's account of the Grey Mountains. Okay. Shall I go? This way? Not this way. Other way? Other way. Grey Mountains in the Halls of Memory this way? Oh, yeah. Twisting passages. Okay, here we go. Grey Mountains. Mental Grey Mountains are this way. Okay. Other way was a dead end? Fine, fine. All right. Oh, here we go. Quit. This feels like I've been here before. Epcot Center? I keep wanting to say that. But I haven't been to Epcot Center since I was like 16. Anyway, okay. Part of the mystery. Oh, here we are. Magaldir meeting Vowen. And the rest of them turning into purple clouds. No, wait, these are people we're supposed to identify? What do you think, Gandalf? What does he have to say about it? Hold, strangers, who goes there and for what purpose? Who are those purple shades that be with ye? It is a dwarf. Keen observation. I am called Magaldir, my boon companions, and I mean you no harm. What kind of boon did you give them to turn them into... Okay, you are an elf. Yes. That is true. Good, good. The mountains are no place for an elf. Oh, we're segueing to hostility. I think that is less true, Master Dwarf. We go where evil lurks and oppose it. Are you lurking? If so, then... Oh, hang on. Magaldir did not adventure alone. No, there's some purple clouds right there. I have learned the identities of the others in his band. Oh, good. Let's fill them in, shall we? Consider them now, and I will share with you what I have learned. Excellent, excellent. Okay, come on now. I like this game. Go ahead. Oh, I have to examine them. Indistinct figures. Sorry, I didn't realize I had to do something. They were knights of Gondor, adventuring far from home in the years after the Battle of Fornost. Huh. They sought out pockets of Angmarim resistance in the mountains and ended their threat. And Magaldir was leading them? A mercenary? Okay. Oh, their names. Let's do it. Oralang. Okay. Makilnis. Okay. Kalatur. Okay. I'm not supposed to recognize these names. And Silmachtar. And the fifth, who remains ghostly and was set aside from them to begin with. I know them? I do? You know the name to whom they pledged their loyalty. Uh-oh, I feel another review is coming. To whom did they pledge their loyalty? Fornost. Years after the Battle of Fornost. What are they again? Oralang, Makilnis, Kalatur, and Silmatar. Oh, wait. It is vaguely. I am recalling. Hang on.
Don't remember. Earnur. Before he became the king of Gondor, he was its prince. Okay. While his father Eärnil ruled from Minas Anor, he did the bidding of Gondor in the north. Sure. Okay, right. Battle of Fornost. Yeah. Okay. Eärnur fought at Fornost with his knights, and it was there they met Magaldir. Okay. Are these dudes going to become the Kargul? And if so, where do they get their robes? This brought them to the Grey Mountains, where they met Voin of the Gelruka. Okay. With deception, Voin masks the name, but it is of Eärnur he writes. The very same Eärnur who had become Mordirith, the false king of Angmar. Yeah, no, I remember that. The same Eärnur who commanded the armies of Mordor in the guise of Gothmog. Remember that too. Okay. He troubles us still and makes his presence felt even in this tome from 1,000 years ago. Right. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the names. They were the Kargul names? Silmatar. Makilnis. Orlang. Calatur. Can you defeat Orlang at Pelennor? So were they recent? Were any of them in Volume 1 way back when? In Angmar? With Mordorith? Or are they all more recent under Gothmog? Okay. No, they're all more recent? Okay. I should recognize from Pelennor. Yeah, it's been a while. Been several years. Of course, Griffith is about to go to Pelennor again, so I'll remember those. All right. I should have known. I should have read the signs. Still not putting together the whole big picture. All right, hang on now. So, okay. Voin finds Eärnur, who's not yet, but this is still, after Fornost, way before he has his second run-in with the Witch King. There shouldn't be anything wrong with him now. Magaldir. Not seeing it. I mean, okay, he's not suggesting that Voin was some sort of corruptive influence on Eärnur? Huh.
Gothmog has been responsible for much sorrow in each of his guises.
True, and many, many quests. It seems, too, that his fate is interwoven with yours, for even the tale of Voin is not free of his corruptive touch. Oh, I see. The corruption going the other way. I was wondering which way they were suggesting, but it's hard for me to see, right, how he could have a corruptive touch on Voin at that point, long before he'd been corrupted. I mean, he'd been, a little bit miffed, right, at the Battle of Fornost, but, embarrassed at the Battle of Fornost. But I don't think he's corrupted yet. Unless they're suggesting that it's only here that Eärnur establishes a friendship with Voin, and then later on he exploits that connection somehow post-corruption to do something bad to Voin. I guess I wasn't leapfrogging that far ahead. Anyway, how about I read? I'm focusing, Gandalf, completely. Okay. It seems, too, that his fate is interwoven with yours, for even the tale of Voen is not free from his corruptive touch, though it be written almost 1,000 years ago. Gothmog has been a long-simmering font of evil. Sounds like a good profile description, right? Long-simmering font of evil. He can no longer remain unchallenged. It is time at last to put an end to him. These past few years revealed to us that which we did not know. King Earnur was not slain when he rode to Minas Morgul to confront the Witch King. Dude, we've known that forever. He was instead transformed into Mordorith, yes, old news. A thrall of the Lord of the Nazgul, yes. It was by Mordorith's hand that the shadow fell upon Angmar, but he was exposed by Galadir the Ranger and Narmeleth of Linden, to say nothing of a certain guardian of my acquaintance. Exactly. It was totally there. You don't have to remind me. It's funny, the things that happened like ages ago, I remember perfectly clearly, but like the quests I just did, the last time I was playing, I can barely remember. Mordorith's designs were broken, but his spirit persevered, and he was given a new guise and a new task. He would command Sauron's armies in war, second only to his old master, the Witch King of Angmar. But the Witch King was slain at Pelennor as few only might have dared hope, and Gothmog's confidence in his own invulnerability was shaken. He fled the field, escaping to Imlad Morgul and sealing the roads in or out of that vale. While Sauron thrived, the free people of Middle-earth had worries enough to occupy their attention, and Gothmog could be set aside. But now a new fear presents itself to me. Gothmog has had time now to lick his wounds, psychological wounds, apparently, and search the valley. Never mind. I'm not even going to ask. Is it a spiritual tongue that you lick a psychological wound? I don't even want to think about it. Search the valley for artifacts that might reverse his fortunes. Gothmog. In Minas Morgul. Tracking. What terrible sorceries might he have uncovered? What makes him think that there are sorceries?
Elisar has charged Prince Faramir with cleansing the evils from Imlad Morgul.
In the Tower of Sorcery. Okay. Great. The outskirts of Imlad Morgul is just where I want to be. That was my goal, and I'm just about done. King Elisar charged Faramir, cleansing the eagles. No, evils, not eagles. The eagles are fine. Let the eagles stay. It's the evils you want to cleanse away, clearly. Find his men at Fenos Ghost, the Dread Door, on the western bounds of Gorgoroth, and aid them with our mission. They will not be able to stand alone against Gothmog, but your help may tip the balance in their favor. Okay. Remember, my friend, Minas Morgul was once the Tower of Minas Ithil, a jewel of Gondorian art and culture, but it has spent long centuries corrupted by the Nazgul and Sauron's other terrible servants, so expect graffiti all over the place. None can say what dangers you will find within, but I trust that if any man has the courage to face them, you do. Okay. And if I could get a Morgul Explorers reinforced bracer, then that's just a bonus at this point. Okay. Discovered Fenos Goth. Oh, hang on. Who's the dude lying on his back? Injured ranger. Soldiers of Ithilien are hard pressed at the Dread Door. Oh, I'm staring here looking out. Uh-oh, there's something indistinct about my figure. I've got a vaguely purple cloud around me. Ingold, good to see you. Yeah. Okay. Shall we go? Let's go in. What's that? Oh, no. A web-covered page. Nope, not even curious. Okay. Up the blue flames. Oh, the nasty river. Oh, a gross waterfall. Yeah, we don't want anything to do with that river. Okay, so... yeah. Cirith Ungol somewhere nearby? No? This would have been the road that the Witch King would have marched out with his armies. Okay. Disgusting River of Death, though we've seen several of those by this time. I'm thinking of the one up in Angmar. Right? Okay. Oh, no, there are mushrooms. Nothing other. Whoa! What happened there? That little wormling just hit me with something? What on earth was that? Okay. Right there. Yeah, oh, we've got spiders. And what? 110? These spiders are grayed out to me. Okay. Lingris. Yeah, I'm in Lingris. Why am I in Lingris? Because I went the wrong way. Yeah. Okay. No problem. All right. Oriented now. This is the way up the... Yeah, okay. I was guessing that I went the wrong way there. But we're going to the Morgul Vale. Torachungul, the Tower of Kirathungul. Okay, so I'm right around the corner from it. Right on. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm on that. Okay. See, without the sun, I couldn't tell which side of the mountains I was on. All right. Okay. Well, I want to make the connection here. Got it. All right. No problem. Back to the purple shadow, so that must mean I'm entering level 120. Okay. Hey, Kiriana, I'll be fine. I'm on level. Yeah, totally on level here. Right? I mean, hey, look, this Eben the Serpent is only level 1, so how hard could it be around here? It's pretty much nothing. Okay, so if we go, ooh, look at the map. Yes. Okay, there's the other way up to Kirathungul. Right, okay. Oh, boy, really inefficient road. But who? Oh, Thuringwath, really? Thuringwath. What is it? It's like the Vampire Hall? Okay. Akathras. Real. Okay. All right, there's Torachungul up there, so we get up to Shield Observer from the other side, right? No, okay. We went from there. Okay. Okay. Sure. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing a pale light. Oh, yes. There it is. Okay, couldn't quite see the whole thing from here. Let's continue around the corner. That hill, like I was trying to replicate that moment in the Rings of Power where, you know, Finrod walks up the hill and then you see Tyrion there. It was kind of looking like that, so I was hoping for a nice, like, establishing shot reveal. I got a little bit of it. Did get the sickly death, pale glowing light. Ah, okay, better angle. Rotating beacon. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Love the luminous mist. Love the luminous mist. Okay, here we go. Okay. We did it. We got to Minas Morgul. Not into Minas Morgul, but I don't think I'm going to start the Imlad Morgul quests. This feels like a stopping place to me, especially since I don't think I have that many minutes in me before I keel over. Because as I said at the very beginning of the day, which was now 10 hours ago, I've not gotten a whole lot of sleep this week. So, yeah, we got to go back to Ingold. We'll be good. Okay. Let's do our last drawing. We'll do our last drawing. Okay, here we go. final drawing of the day. And the winner is... Who is the winner? Erica Montesese. Erica, congratulations. You are the winner. And I did not see the Hobbit question above, Edith. Hang on, I'll go back to the question. Oh, what do I think would have happened to the dwarves in the Woodland Realm cells if Bilbo didn't set them free? What do I think? What would have happened? Their skeletal remains would be there to this... No. Well, it's not clear what Thranduil's long-term plan was there, right? Thorin would have been way too stubborn to bend, right? I mean, he wouldn't have... Well, though the narrative does say he's thinking about it, right? But if Bilbo had to set them free... So let's assume that the theoretical is not just that Bilbo doesn't actively rescue them, but that Bilbo's not there at all, right? Remember, Bilbo gives hope to Thorin. He was going to give in. What he was going to give into was to try to bargain with some of his treasure. But that doesn't mean that Thranduil is going to necessarily believe him. And what happens then? Let's say Thorin negotiates, right? And Thorin is like, okay, I will give you some of my treasure if you help. Like the men of Lake Town helped. So Thorin and his people are set free. But imagine, I mean, Thranduil doesn't want to kill him, or he would have done, right? Eventually, Thranduil's got to be convinced that Thorin is legit, right? And he tried to hold him to his word. So basically, I think it ends up, my guess is that it ends up in a scenario kind of similar to the eventual scenario, where instead of being kitted out by the people of Lake Town and heading up to the dragon, he's kitted out by the elves and heads up to the dragon. Now, again, I don't know how you imagine how it plays out from here. If we're imagining a non-Bilbo situation, the dwarves wouldn't even have made it that far. But in any case, let's assume what non-Bilbo from here, or just a Bilbo is around, but he fails to bust him out, right? But I still don't think in the end it makes much long-term difference, because Thorin would not keep his word. I don't think he would. Because if he got to the point where he's there in the mountain and the dragon's dead like before, then he would still, just as he would denies the justice of Bard's obvious claim, right, as the dragon slayer and, those who helped him, surely he would say to the Elven King, like, I made that promise under duress because you unjustly imprisoned me, whatever. I'm not gonna follow through with that. That would actually be less of a scumbag move than he was pulling on Bard, who had no reason not to. I mean, apart from still being mad at the Elven King and therefore Bard by proxy, like, that's pretty weak, right? For pretty weak reason, he refuses to treat with Bard. And he would have a stronger reason if it were the Elven King. So, no, in the end, I think it would have played out very, very similarly, actually. But, It's hard to know. The hypothetical's difficult to play out all the way. But again, just based on what we know of the Elven King and what we know of Thorin, and what the narrative tells us, the Elven King wasn't gonna kill him, right? But we know that he did want treasure. So if he were to come around, as he eventually would have to believing Thorin for who he says he was and everything, I think he would have bargained for the treasure. But the elves would have been there. I mean, there are a couple of different ways you could play out the scenario if they're coming from the elves and with the help of the wood elves instead of the men of Lake Town. Things would have played out differently with Smaug, probably, but I don't know how. It's interesting to think through, but as far as how their imprisonment would end, that's what I think would have happened, is that Thorin would eventually have been forced to treat with the Elven King and try to bargain with him, as he was considering doing. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I did my last drawing. There we go. Erica won. That's right. Okay. This has been a fun day. Do remember to check out the collaboratory.signumuniversity.org. And I hope that you will join us on this adventure that we are embarking on here. Thanks for a really fun session. This was a great Lotro session. I know you guys, this is why I can see why you guys wanted me to do the next chapter, right? Because that was totally worth it. And this is a great stopping place for Wigend as he prepares for the next time, whenever that is, that we'll get to do. Now we'll get to do Morgul Vale in earnest for next time. So that's pretty cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. And I will see you again sometime soon. Broadcasts as usual next week. So thanks, everybody. Bye now.